Welcome to We Don't Give a Flip podcast, where reselling meets humor and the flips never stop. My name is Bob. I'm the Rocket City reseller, and I'm joined by my wife, Amanda, Fiona's Finds, and we have none other than Mamacat Thrifter, Courtney. Long awaited. We've been waiting all year. She's a busy lady. She's a busy lady.
I am very busy.
Maybe I'll make time.
She's like, I'll make time.
Oh, yeah.
Hey, what's up, Joe? Hello.
Hello.
We appreciate you stopping
Happy
by.
Merry all the things.
Yeah, Merry all the things.
It's the last one of the year for us.
Yeah.
We'll be in Orlando next week.
We appreciate you being our last podcast of the year. Courtney, thank you for coming on.
I'm so honored.
So what's up with you? What's new and exciting? How's reselling life?
Reselling's going good. Taking a break right now because it's a holiday season and I just need a break. I need time to relax, all that good stuff. It's giving me more time to list on the other platforms, which is great because I have slacked all year on that because I'm horribly behind. It's so hard when you got the kids and all that stuff, but Whatnot's been going great. It's obviously slowing down because it's winter season, Christmas. People just aren't buying lots of Tupperware for gifts this year.
I was going to say, we decided not to send for Christmas. Have you? Because everybody's like, is he going to be here in time? And I just would like to put out this PSA for everybody. We do not work for Santa. We do not have reindeers.
Listen, I'm an agent. I'm an agent of Santa.
We do not work for USPS, UPS, FedEx, all the things. We cannot guarantee when your stuff.
Me and the big guy are like this. Me and the big guy are like this.
Yep.
If you are ordering at this point out, good luck.
Yeah, you're risking it for sure. Like it might get there, it might not. So for me, all my stuff it doesn't leave until like 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock in the evening, and then goes to St. Paul. But then it might bounce to Minneapolis before it goes to wherever it's going. So just in my state alone, it can be delayed for like 2-3 days just being here.
Do you have more than one hub because it's so big there?
Yeah. So like mom and dad and Ryder are like 20-25 minutes south of me. And they go through Minneapolis hub and then it goes over to Mankato. And then it goes down to them. For me, all my stuff comes from St. Paul down to Otana here. And then obviously I'm in town. But like theirs, for whatever reason, tracks over and then down to them. So I think it depends on what part of Minnesota you're in. But it's so weird that we're so close and they have different directions. And their stuff, like you could send us both something the same day. And theirs is probably going to take 2-3 days longer to get to them just because it does have to go from Minneapolis down to Mankato.
Wants to know where you're from.
I'm from Otana, Minnesota.
Can't you hear the Minnesota? So
don't you know?
So for us, we've only, we moved out to the country. It feels like we're outside the city limits, but we're in Madison County in Alabama. And so for us, the hub is Birmingham, and then it goes to the sub in Huntsville, and then from Huntsville, our stuff goes to Ardmore, Tennessee, and then which is literally a rock throw from our house. And then
I could walk to get Lotto if I wanted.
Yeah. And then Ardmore, Tennessee comes back to us. So Alabama does not deliver our mail. Tennessee does, even though we are Alabama, because the post office for us is literally a rock throw away. So if you guys order from us, that's why all of our stuff comes from Ardmore, Tennessee. So anyways,
it makes sense.
Well, yeah, it does. But so the other thing too is that for those of you that live outside city limits, we don't have federal mail trucks. We have people that drive like
Joe's in Minnesota too, by the way.
Vans or Jeeps that have the driver on the opposite side. So we don't have like mail trucks like they do in the city. So that's
just someone's Wrangler, man. They're just giving it hard.
Yeah.
Someone's personal Wrangler. They're just delivering that mail. And we appreciate every one of them too, because it's not an easy job, especially this time of year.
Right.
We just actually went to our post office and gave a little Mary chair
We did.
to them.
We have 4 core people that work the front counter
Mhm.
tirelessly, endlessly. They sort mail, they sort Amazon pallets, and this year right now they can't even keep up with Santa's elves. So, and there's a lot of resellers in our area too.
Oh yeah, we get to know them pretty
we,
much.
We run
Which
in, I'm
ones?
sure you guys do too. You run into the usuals, you know, and we may be the only one at that time bringing in, 6 bags of plush, but there's this one guy that lives locally, I think.
Yeah.
He does Santa's work, and he does some sort of
he handles a
letter
lot of the
thing.
correspondence for Santa because
Yeah.
he's a busy guy. He can't.
And he only helps out this time of year. And let me tell you, cha-ching, cha-ching, cha-ching.
Yeah, Santa's been busy, and so is he pays his employees well.
He came up with
He
some
really
sort of
does.
concept to help Santa, and damn.
Yeah.
See, and it's key to have like great employees at the post office, because if you don't,
It hurts so bad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We have
some really
1
good
to 50
ones.
1 to 50 packages. It doesn't matter. It all gets scanned. They don't care. The person that's in front of them is just as important as the person that left and the person that's behind us.
Now, unless you're going down 10 minutes down into Alabama, hateful. Why are you so hateful?
Harvest, post office.
We're calling you out,
suck.
Harvest.
They only allow 5 packages. What are you supposed to do with that?
Yeah.
Anyways, but
Yeah, that's ridiculous. I hate the ones that are like that. I mean, I get mine for a while. I was dropping them off at the front counter, and then they're just like, you can just use the back. Like, it's going to be easier. And it is, because I'm just like, oh, I'm so sorry.
And now that you know with Whatnot, you can do the scan sheet. That would help.
Yeah.
That helps out so much more, because I don't know about you, but I don't like the scan feature they have on Whatnot now, because I feel like for me, I think that's a part of the mistake that happened with my Adorable show, that I potentially lost both of those buyers, in addition to the label issue. Because when I went to scan She Sheds, it scanned the wrong one. So I think there's multiple errors that could have happened. But anyways, in my humblest opinion, I wouldn't use that feature.
The only thing I use it for is the envelopes, because like when I do giveaways and I do the cards for my giveaways, I mean, it's not going to be on that scan sheet.
Right.
So I scan it so it's not late, because there's never going to be a scan on it.
Right.
But that has affected me in the past. So I like that feature for that part of it. But anything else, no.
Well,
because from what I heard, it doesn't even count either. Like, they have to actually scan it on their end. So even though you're scanning it, they're saying it's not counting unless the post office is actually scanning it. So what's the point?
Right.
That is true.
Well, for those of you who don't know, and thank you for joining, this is Mamacat Thrifter. This is Miss Courtney. She's from Minnesota, and she's going to tell us how long she's been selling, what she likes, and if you have any questions, please post them in the chat. We will do our best to filter them, along with our mod Krista, Drifting Thrifter. She will help as well.
Is she actually in here? Because I can't even see it. I'm trying to see everything on
she's
my
already
computer.
She's already said, hey, soulmate, and hey, and where you're from. So she's keeping up with the comments for you as well.
And what is up, Tennessee Treasures? I saw you slide in.
Yeah,
I can see Ellie's comment, but I just can't even see comments. So I apologize if I can't see anything, guys, because it's not.
It's okay.
It's not showing up on my computer for whatever reason. I don't know what's going on.
It's okay. We'll make sure you get them. But guys, make sure, if you want to know a lot about Whatnot, Tupperware, all the things, nostalgia, stay in here, ask questions. Courtney's a wealth of knowledge, and with that, I'll let you go ahead.
I was just going to say, Courtney, now's your chance to tell everybody about, how long you've been selling, what you prefer to sell, things of that nature. We want to get to know you more. So let the people know.
I've already written.
So I started reselling in around, we think we have it pinpoint to about 2004. I was only 14. So it started with my mom and dad's eBay account. They, they created an account, and it was actually to sell my Beanie Babies and my Beanie Buddies.
Do you hear that, Mel?
Huge collection. Yes, Mel was in here. Like, I don't know if she's in the chat or anything, but
I probably feel so validated by you right now.
Yeah, so it was the same for me as it was for her. Like, so we are in a very small town where I grew up. Like, we're in the country, but there's like 3 or 4 different very small towns, like 200-300 people populations around us. And the one has Lerberg's, which is just like a family run little store. They have groceries, they have different things. And they had Beanie Babies and Beanie Buddies. So like mom would check to see when they were getting shipments in, and we would haul it over to Ellendale and go to Lerberg's, and mom and dad would buy me like all the newest ones that I needed. So I had a huge collection. You know, back in the 90s, like you were gonna make bank on those things.
I remember seeing the mall kiosks and being
Yeah.
like, they were in like the plastic little showcases, and I'd walk
Mhm.
by and be like, wow.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
now
so-
I can light a fire with them.
No, that's not true. There's value there.
Well, not
No,
on,
there-
on the buddies and the puppies and stuff.
Oh, for
But-
sure.
Dad built me a shelf, so like all around my bedroom, I had shelves just lined. And then I had a bunch in the cases. So I had the cases, I had the heart protectors on some of them too. And they were just lined in my room. I think I had, I don't know what kind of furniture it was. It was like this big tall thing, and it had like glass doors on it. And you pulled them open and then lifted up, and then they like slid in.
Mm-hmm.
So I had a bunch displayed in that too, and on top. So they were everywhere. And then it was like, all right, I got older. They weren't worth nothing because that whole thing was a lie. So
Well, they were so saturated too.
Damn.
yeah.
Rip.
So that's why we ended up getting on eBay to sell all that. And we did sell them. Like they moved. Some of them we had to do in lots. Some of them just sold individually. But that's what we started with. And then as years progressed, we started doing like Tupperware and like Pyrex, some vintage kitchen things. Pyrex glass coffee pots and Visionware was like my dad's thing. So we had a ton of glass coffee pots and Visionware. Pyrex would pick up when we found it. We did like vintage toys, like a lot of vintage little people, not modern ones or anything, but the vintage ones, different vintage toys, frame tray puzzles, kids puzzles, models, games, some books. I mean, we kind of did a variety, but we slowly like went into it. But those were our main things. And then we don't know like exactly when we were getting into all that because we can't remember. But it was sometime mid to late 2000s when we were doing that. And my great uncle passed away in 2007. And we're thinking it was that winter my mom started like selling milking stuff because they had a farm with cows and everything. And they had a bunch of milking equipment. And it sold well on there. Like we sold huge milking cans, all that kind of stuff. So we were selling that. And then there were other like small trinkety kind of stuff like after we had his garage sale and everything. So I think more so around like probably 2008, 2009 is when we started expanding even more. And in like 2009 came the Zuzu pet craze.
Oh,
That's
this
when
is
we
a good
kind of
story.
that's when we got into like retail arbitrage. So I wrote it down in my notes. So it was the top like Christmas item that year. And I would go into Walmart and check. I know mom and dad would. I know they were getting stuff for
Oh, she's having bad weather.
but I found some the one time I filled a cart. I think I ended up I don't even know how many I ended up getting, but I scored like
Courtney,
a bunch
we
of
lost your
the
video. Sorry to
Zuzu
interrupt you.
blankets and accessories.
Can you hear me?
And I think I bought them for like $4 or $5 a
Well, we
piece,
can hear
and
it.
I was flipping them for like $20. And I know mom went in there one time, and they didn't want to sell them to me when I found them. Like it was a huge thing. Like they were pissed. Walmart was always pissed about everything. They didn't want to sell you stuff. I'm like, there's no limit. It was a whole big thing with that. Mom went in there. I think it was after I had went in there, and she grabbed like I think 4 or 5 different pieces for Ryder, and they tried actually taking them out of her cart because they claimed that she went in the back room and was stealing them from the back, which was ridiculous. So we had a lot of issues that year. with the Zuzu pets, but we found a lot. We made a lot of money, and that's kind of when the retail arbitrage whole thing started for our ends.
Can you hear us?
I can kind of hear you guys. I can't see you guys.
We can't see you either. I sent you a text message. I mean, it's fine because you're coming across really crystal clear. So it's up to you if you want to go back out and we'll bring you right back in. I mean, obviously the last show of the year is going to have, all the things.
It's gonna have glitches. Yeah, I
It's-
can see myself just fine. Like I went out,
So
but then
can
I
we.
came back in.
Yeah, we can see ourselves too, but we're looking at a blank screen with your name on it. I mean, it's fine if you want to try to, but the one question I want to ask before we lose some sort of connection, what made you decide to go on and start reselling? What made you think to even do that, to sell your Beanie Babies? Did you try doing them in yard sales, or what was the epiphany for online?
I honestly don't even remember from back then. I mean, I know we did garage sales, but I'm guessing it was probably a price thing because where I'm from, even like now, when you go to garage sales there, it's like the old school prices, like not nickel and dime necessarily, but a lot of stuff is still like a quarter, 50 cents, a dollar. If you come up here, which like I said, I'm only like 20, 25 minutes north of mom and dad, the prices up here are insane. That's why we have garage sales at my house instead of down there now.
I'm fixing to
Because
find out.
like things that we can sell down there that you're only going to get like 50 cents or a dollar for, we can sell for like triple, quadruple up here because we're closer to the Twin Cities and people are willing to pay more.
Yeah.
So I'm guessing that's probably why we did it, because we could get more money back, because I don't think mom and dad wanted to try to sell them at a garage sale and get very little back for them.
Right.
Or maybe we tried and they just didn't sell. I don't know. I can't remember. It was
Well, good
a
on
long,
them for
long time
trying
ago.
eBay.
Yeah.
That's good on them for trying eBay, because a lot of older folks,
Well,
even our parents, would be like, I don't know about.
I feel like Courtney was
eBay.
the spearhead of that. They were just the vessel to get her there.
Yeah, man.
Yeah. Well, I'm trying to think. They in early 2000s, they wouldn't have been that old. I'm trying to do math in my head right now.
Do you want to try having her come out?
Yeah, we're gonna have
They
you.
weren't even quite 40 yet, so.
I'm gonna go ahead and remove you real quick and try to
Okay.
add you back in, see if that helps.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
She's got to come back in.
All right, Court. We're gonna have you drop and then try to come back into.
Yeah, come back in through
Okay.
the link that we sent you.
Okay.
Okay. No, don't ban her.
I know that.
That would be really bad. Well, this is fun.
First time I've ever kicked someone from the studio.
Yeah.
It's only been 6 months.
Yeah.
I'm surprised because we don't give a flip here.
Mm.
Well, we're waiting for Mamacat Thrifter to come back. We want to thank everybody for all the support and love over the past 6 months for We Don't Give a Flip, and a very Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. We're going to bring Courtney back in.
All right.
Now we got audio.
I like now my mom texts me like when I went out with 30s.
30s?
Thanks for texting me now.
Well, Mom, we're not trying to call you old. I just
Yeah.
want to be clear.
Yeah.
But
So I'm
still,
gonna call her
probably
mom
getting
because I don't
into
know.
eBay, I guess back then in the early 2000s, being, in your late 30s, whatever, that was.
Well, technology, I
different.
think for people when you're older, like, and I'm saying like now kids have tablets at 5 years old and they can run it better than we can, right? But so I say that because a lot of people who are of the older generation who didn't grow up with that technology, it can be very scary. It can be like uncharted territory. What do I do with this? It's very intimidating for some people.
Now you better keep up or else.
Right.
So
Right.
now it's just a
You
matter
got
of
5-year-olds
right.
writing code and programming your shit.
They're using code blocks to write code for school now.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, and that was part of what I want to talk about too. Like, so when we were talking about, mom and dad and I were talking about it the other night, and I said, there's no way, like, Amanda would be like, I quit. I'm not doing this. Like, I don't feel like you would have had the patience for back then, because it was so different than what it is now. Like, for us,
hands-on.
we didn't just, like, print labels or anything. Like, I don't know if that even existed back then. I don't think it did. We had to handwrite everything on the boxes. You know, we had the priority wasn't really a big thing either. Like when you went into the post office, they had boxes there, but like in our rinky-dink little post office, even the bigger ones, it's just a small section. So for ours, it was like under the counter, there was a few boxes of each size, and you could grab them there if you needed them. But for the most part, you were using brown boxes for everything because first class mail was the way to go. You didn't have ground advantage, any of that. Almost everything went first class. You hand wrote your address, their address, all that. You took it into the post office. They had to weigh everything, measure everything, put it in, and then you paid either cash or check at the counter there.
So
And
how
if you
did you
had
determine your prices? Because did you have to pre-calculate based on what someone was going to buy? Like now today, since we, it's different for us now. Like you can guesstimate the ounces.
It kind of figures out the calculated.
Yeah, it kind of does it for us. So what did you do so that you didn't lose money on that?
So we had boxes and it was just kind of, I mean, we had a scale and we would weigh it and it was just kind of guesstimating. But there were no like discounts like there is now because you weren't buying your labels online. You were just going to the post office and paying. So sometimes you'd get lucky and you would make a little, or you'd be like spot on, or you might have to owe a little bit more.
Well, now people ship so much they can afford to provide those discounts because so many people are reselling, right? It's kind of like when you work for a company with 5 employees for insurance versus 10,000 employees for insurance. It's much cheaper.
Yeah. I know when I was talking to Junk Monkey, he was mentioning that, he was getting checks or people were sending him checks or cash in the mail back in the 90s.
So there was no like limit on when you had to ship. Like you didn't have a time because that is how it was. You would get money orders or checks in the mail and you would have to wait for those and then like wait for it to clear and then you could ship your stuff. So you might order something from me and you're not going to get it for a while because I'm going to have to get that and then cash it and make sure it clears and then ship it.
I was just going to ask, how did that work?
There's a lot of honor system,
provides such convenience, huh?
Yeah.
I'm sure there were scammers back then too, but damn.
Yeah, so it was a lot. And like when you had an international order, you had this big slip and you would go into the post office and you would have to fill everything out and then she'd have to go over and make sure it was all good and then do all the normal stuff.
I mean, tariff numbers on that too or not? What is it called?
The HS code. Yeah, that's a tariff number. Tariff code.
Yeah, there was.
Oh my God.
No. Damn you, internet.
And yeah, she would have the codes for the countries.
We lost your video
I don't know
again.
if they can. Oh, it looks like it's out on my end. I don't know.
It's okay. We can still hear you. It's okay. We're gonna push through it. I'm bound and determined it's gonna happen.
Well, they're in tornado warnings and I'm in a blizzard warning, guys. So
yeah,
the weather be weathering.
And I feel like every time the wind blows really hard and the rain hits the window, you're gone. So I don't know.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm crystal clear on my side, so I don't know what they're seeing because my comments aren't coming through.
Can you guys see both of us? That's a good question for chat.
You guys see us both?
Yeah, because
I know Ben had texted me earlier and he said that he could not see you guys.
Okay, so we can't see you, but we can see us talking to you. So it must be like that for you on your side also.
Yeah, I can see me talking.
Yeah.
Well, and it's weird because on the one side of my screen, I can see your guys' background. I can't see you, but I can see.
That's how
I can see your shoulders. I can see in between you guys.
Oh, it's because you're in vertical mode on your phone.
Probably.
So now you bet you can see me. Fine.
Yeah, I can see you.
So one of the things that StreamYard recently changed is the ability for mobile and desktop to be able to be cross-functional. So you get a better quality depending on the device you're signed into.
Yeah.
So that's part of the reason why you can only see in between us because we sit together. It's something that's probably going to change for 2026, but
be on the lookout for that.
Be on the lookout. You never know what's coming next. But yeah, so that's likely why. And according to Tennessee Treasurer, she can see us but not see you.
Okay. So
anyways, back to the question.
So shipping was a bitch. It took a lot of effort. I don't know if I would give up on that. I think it would be more of like, is this really worth my time?
Yeah, see, that's what I figured because like we would have to, well, mom would bring stuff home from the hospital because she works at the hospital. So she would bring like boxes and stuff home.
Mhm.
But otherwise, it's getting boxes like from grocery stores, if you happen to find them at garage shows or whatever, like you were searching for them. And we didn't have really the luxury for packing supplies. Like we had a shipping store in town.
Mm.
And no joke, we would go and get bags of packing peanuts that were almost as tall as I am. So,
Wow.
I mean, they were
That's crazy.
monsters and they weren't cheap either. I think they were like 50 or $60 per bag. I mean, they would last us a long time, but it certainly wasn't cheap for shipping supplies. Sometimes we'd have to buy them off eBay and then wait for them to get delivered. Like, yeah.
Now you just use pool noodles, right?
Right. I
Just
feel
kidding.
like your methods are so archaic compared to like
Yeah.
how it is today. Like the evolution of your reselling, it must be like such a breath of fresh air for
What a
you.
series for YouTube, the evolution of reselling.
Oh, that's
I love the
Right.
history of that stuff.
Yeah,
So-
it's so crazy. Well, and another thing is it would take us forever to list because it wasn't just simple snap a picture with your phone and you can do everything with your phone. We had to use a digital camera
Mm.
and then upload it to the computer and then all that. Well, we were on dial up still. Like,
Oh, damn.
I know mom told me what speed we were on when we ended up getting rid of it. Our speed was 28 when we got rid of dial up, and we're
No, that's not the best, but it's not the worst either.
Yeah.
So it's
yeah.
like
Well, that's
I
what
think we
it
went
was
from
up
28 to
to, though.
56. Yeah.
I mean,
So, was anybody in your family a consultant? I don't know if you've ever told me this before, but what made Tupperware stick?
no. So I don't know. Dad actually remembers our first sale, which is surprising because Dad doesn't remember jack shit. But,
Dad, when that paper gets right, Dad knows.
so he said our first item was a canister set. He
Nice.
actually knows the garage sale that we got it from and everything.
Mm.
And he said we bought them for $1 and he believes they sold for 15.
That's not a bad profit flip.
Yeah,
No.
that's actually really
And,
good.
I mean, I think it was because it's easy to ship. Like Tupperware is just iconic. We
Well,
found it all the time here.
Well, it's
Do you
it's
find that it's-
evergreen.
do you-
It's gonna never go away.
Do you also feel like it's lightweight in some degree?
It's heavier than people think.
Okay.
Like people think it's Tupperware, it's not gonna weigh a lot. Well, it really does add up. Like
Well, I
it's
just meant, like,
no
if you-
joke.
Well, obviously, when you sell on Whatnot and you've got a customer that is swiping away and they end up filling, I mean, you could easily fill a 12 by 12 box up with like 2 swipes, right? But like in general, like if you were to just ship one canister, like a serial keeper, I don't even know if I'm saying the right thing, so please don't be mad at me. Like I would think one piece would not be so bad, but if you're buying it in bulk, clearly, obviously the weight is. But in general, do you think that it's that heavy or yes?
So a serial keeper, like when I listed on Whatnot, I put it at £1. But really, if that's all that they bought, by the time I get it in the box and by the time I put my packing material
Yeah,
in there,
that's
and
true.
that's not even like going overboard with packing material, just putting my packing paper in there, taping it up, label, packing slip, whatever, it's going to be around 32 to 35 ounces.
Mm.
But,
And side
if they
note,
buy more,
yeah,
I can take a lot of that out of there because they're filling the box with more pieces.
yeah. And if you buy from Mamacat, she's got really good packing supplies. So she is one reseller that you can reuse and recycle her shit. I do it all the
Which
time.
really it's just going to Walmart. It's just the
Thanks
basic
in
packing
advance.
paper you can buy at Walmart, and it's surprisingly really good.
Yeah.
Yeah, it really is. I love that. It's called crush paper, I think,
We
right?
started purchasing it, and I think we're on. You know how they have the big flat flats of it. They have a small one and a big one. We
Yep.
bought 2 of the bigger ones. I think it was like less than $12 a piece,
Mhm.
and we
Yep.
just now opened the second one because we are not cheap, But we definitely want to reuse.
Speak for yourself, lady.
Well, I'm just saying, like, when it like for those of you that have bought from us, you know that it goes in a plastic bag, then it goes in a poly. Some things go in a box. If it goes in a box, it's still going to go in a Ziploc because to have that protective barrier, right? But by no means, if I buy something off of somebody, whether it be from Amazon or from Whatnot or any other platform, if I can reuse what they sent the stuff in, I'm definitely going to do that because Bob always likes and hopes that stuff goes priority so we don't have to pay for the shipping box, because now we've added more cost to that. And I'm like, we'll just use an Amazon box. He's like, we paid for that. I'm like, no, we didn't. He's like, you bought something and it came in that box, so you paid for it. I'm like, well, I guess we did.
I mean, I'm not penny pinching to that degree.
No,
I don't think.
I mean, we would prefer to reuse and recycle as much as we can so that we're not paying for stuff more than once.
I think I'll just say one thing real quick. It's for me, it depends on where it sells, is what kind of box you get. If it sells on eBay, I will use any box that I can find that's a decent quality. But if it's Etsy or mostly Etsy, I want to have a different experience. It's like Walmart and Target. You expect a little bit more being taken care of for Etsy, I think. So I try to use a new box if I can for that.
Yeah, I used to wrap my stuff in tissue paper for Etsy, but I stopped doing that a long time ago.
Yeah. So it just depends.
Yeah.
Yeah, see, I usually don't reuse priority boxes because I just feel like they're flimsy as it is.
Yeah, they can be.
But most of my boxes just come from Lowe's because with us both working there, and I'm able to get boxes and people say boxes and stuff for me, and even like bubble wrap and the air bubbles and stuff that come in our side stacks, those save them for me because I'm like, I don't care, I'm gonna reuse them. Like, they just shipped it to us, we unbox the stuff, and most of the boxes aren't bad. I mean, I leave behind the ones that get damaged on the truck because it happens when you have a huge semi being shipped to you. But for the most part, that's what they get.
So for side note, if USPS is ever listening to us small little podcasters, I would appreciate if they could make the self-sealing ones on all their priority boxes.
Mm-hmm.
Because that is it helps not having to. I mean, yes,
I have trust issues. I'd still use tape.
I still would use tape, but here's the thing, though. I just feel like there's a really good seal with it. Yeah. I feel like you really have to not struggle, but you have to pull a little harder to get it separated. So, in my humble opinion, I love those boxes that it's only the one box that has it.
Mm-hmm.
And I wonder why just that box. Why can't they all just like fold it?
Well, it's the different sizes, but it's
like it's literally just a landing strip. But
yeah.
Anyways, that's just my opinion. So, what is it like for you now to resell? Because now you've migrated into Whatnot, so now you do live shows. Plus, you still do online platforms. You said you have.
I want to know how you started and Whatnot, because every time I ask that question to everybody that I've interviewed this year, they can never quite recall what it is. Even myself, what was it that made the decision to start Whatnot?
I know why we started on Whatnot.
Okay, I now remember, but in recollection or whatever, do you recall what it was or what brought you to Whatnot?
So I actually came to Whatnot as a buyer. I think it's been like 3 years now, if I remember right when I checked. It was like fall 3 years ago. And it's because of Commonwealth Picker and ADH Dave. He was, NC Picker back then. But it was because of them, because they were on Whatnot selling and they would promote on their YouTube channels. So then I checked it out because they were always talking about it. And then I started buying, I bought some stuff from them. And then I started buying vintage Ninja Turtles for the boys and got a ton of them. And then I kind of didn't go on the app for a while. And then I came back on. And then I ended up finding like you guys and Gulf Coast and Coco. And I found a lot of plush sellers and stuff. I'm like, God, that would be really nice to like do that. But I'm not good on the cameras. Like, I'm not a social person. I wouldn't say I'm like very socially awkward in my opinion. And I'm just like, I am way too shy to go on the camera, do all this. But then I watch more people and I'm like, yeah, maybe I can give it a try. Like if I just switch the camera around. And at that point, they made it so you didn't have to show your inventory. Because before, if you were going to be a seller, you had to show like what you had and prove that you had enough to sell. And I'm like, oh, I don't want to go through all my totes and go through all that and like show them what I all have because I'd be here forever. Then they're like, all right, it's open up applications. And I got approved within like a day. So I'm like, all right, we're going to try this. And my first show,
what year
I
was
did
that?
calico kittens
What year
and
was
sold
that?
nothing. Sorry, I cut you off, Bob. What was that?
Yeah, I was just gonna say, what year was that? Do you recall?
Yeah, when did you first start selling or whatnot?
It was, I've been on for a year and a half, so it was May of 24.
Okay, so May of 24, and tell me your stats. How many followers do you have?
This is incredible.
This is so good, you guys. So take notes.
It is 10,100 something.
How many
I don't
sales?
know if I can see on here. I suck at looking at the computer. I'm pulling it up. Okay. 10,187 followers currently.
Whoop, whoop.
And I think it's at 10.1 or 10.2K sales. Or
That's incredible.
no, 11.2K.
Wow.
Oh, so close to 12 right before the end of the year.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah, I
incredible.
ain't gonna
You
make
should
it because
be-
it's too slow, but
I know Ryder is a part of that with the Tupperware and some of the nostalgia stuff. So you guys should be really, really proud of
Shout
that.
out to Ryder.
Yeah, for
Mhm.
sure. I can tell you. So Courtney started buying from us, and I'm like, you know, she would buy a couple things here and there, and I'm not really sure how the buyer and the seller relationship came into a friendship to a sister I thought I never had or needed. So just from her starting to buy with us and it turning into what it is now, she has grown like 7,000 followers in just a short amount of time.
What's up, Jeff?
And hey Jeff, we're having technical difficulties. We can still hear Courtney, we just can't see her, just so you know. Just from that small time, it's been almost a year, right? Has it been a year since you've been buying, since we've
Yeah, just about.
like you've grown exponentially, and you should be so proud of that. What you've done, most people can't do in the amount of time that you have. So just know that what you're doing, and you can tell us how you promote and what you do and what's worked, what you don't think works,
Or not.
or not if you don't want to. But you should be proud. And those of you that are around you that support you and do that thing, they should definitely be aware that it's not unnoticed that you are doing the work to get where you are.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
I'm just going to say for the record, I watch a lot of whatnot resellers. And I will say that your shows, I've never seen someone that can cross categorize. There's only one other person on whatnot I've seen successful at it, and that's Four Season Picker. You're the only one I've seen that can span multiple categories and be successful. So that's a
And
testament
bring your buyers
to a lot of things, behind the scenes, mom and dad support, your husband Ben, all the Ryder, all the family
Harlow,
support,
her
Harlow,
co-host.
your co-host. We'll get to that in a few minutes, but all those people that are doing all those things behind the scenes, yourself, just working yourself.
It's a hard thing to do, I think, once you start in one thing and then
you're a
cross-
force to be reckoned. I mean, I use that term with Amanda all the time, force to be reckoned with, but you really are. Watching you do all those things, you're a natural, and it helps, I think.
Yeah.
So
And
know that you could do YouTube if you wanted to,
right.
because you can do whatnot, and they're very similar in a lot of ways.
And
I would say YouTube's easier because you don't have the back and forth,
right.
so you could pretty much give your opinion,
Right.
and take it to the comments or whatever you want to do,
Well,
type of
and
thing.
the other thing that I love about watching, like, okay, so I admit I have fallen asleep listening to Courtney's Tupperware shows many times. Not
A lot
because
of
she's
people do.
boring.
Soothing,
Not because she's boring by any means.
the
But
sweet stylings.
she will very much have no problem going on for 6+ hours. And there's just a point where I'm just like, I can't hold on anymore. But it doesn't matter if I'm in this room or not because she has so many people in here, but I just want to support.
I would say you're probably a juggernaut.
Yeah.
Whatnot juggernaut. You probably don't feel that way, I'm sure. You probably think you're a small fish,
But
but I would disagree.
But my point in saying that is that there's a lot of good takeaways that you can take from Courtney's shows. She explains in very, very good explicit detail about stuff that she sells, whether it has a torn page, if there's some wear, anything, if it's melted in the dishwasher, and she's able to just keep it going and moving. And the one thing that I think we can all agree on that we have taken from Courtney and Harlow is thanks for looking at that one, because
hey, gratitude.
I will tell you,
you reminded me to have manners.
I will tell you the hardest thing to do is to show something and people don't swipe and you're just like, well, fuck's sakes, why didn't you swipe? Like, this is good. You asked to show it. You wanted to see it and you didn't fucking swipe. So I think that is a great transition for not like a passive way of not being pissed about it. But,
I mean,
like,
it's kind of like bless your heart in the South.
Right. And I'm sure you don't use it that way, but I appreciate
No, I mean, there's two different flavors of that, right? There's actually bless your heart, hope you're okay. And there's bless your heart, you
like,
son of a monkey goat or whatever.
So kudos to you for doing that, because I think we all do it now. So you're a trendsetter in that way.
Yeah.
Well, and I didn't come up with that either. That was me watching my friend Chloe, Carolina Confederate. I'm butchering it. Carolina Confetti. Sorry, Chloe. Totally butcher your name. But yeah, she does that in her shows, and she's always like, thanks for looking at that one. And I'm just like, oh, that is like really catchy. And then I started saying it because I'm just like, all right, and let's see what we're going to show next.
Right. It's like it's a really good space filler. And I know I've noticed Ruth Ann uses it. I think Gulf Coast does. We definitely do. And it's just one of those things that you're just like, well, fuck, thanks for looking at that one. No, and you don't do that. But in my mind, I'm just like, well, I mean, it's better than just saying, well, fuck you.
Yeah. I think we all feel that.
That's part of the thing. Like, I don't want to be rude about it because it's just awkward when you're just going to the next thing. And then I always say, like, thanks whoever, like, we appreciate you, or I appreciate you, because I do, like, appreciate everybody showing up to my shows, because I'm like, there's how many thousands of sellers online right now while I'm also online. You don't have to be here. You could be on a different platform. You could be doing anything else, but you are taking time and hanging out with us, whether it's just me, if it's me and Harlow, or me and Harlow and Heath, or if it's me and Ryder, like, or Mom, if she's covering, like, you're hanging out with some of us. Like, we appreciate you just being here. And I want to make sure they always know that, like, we appreciate your sales, your support. Like, even if you're not buying, you're just hanging out. I appreciate you just being in the room. Get in that giveaway. I don't mind if you win it.
I truly believe that even if someone is in your show just hanging out, that could lead to a follow, that leads to a share. Let's just say I'm watching you and Chris is like, oh, Amanda's on what now? Who's she watching? Oh, she's watching Mamacat Thrifter. Now that gains another person in your room because she wants to check out what I'm doing. There's people out there that do that just by association. So I think there's value in all of that, even if someone is not, because that could lead to a connection. It can lead to a follow. It leads to a purchase, not maybe right there and then, but down the road when it's meant to be. So I think there's value in all that for sure.
Well, and even just that one extra person in your room can bump you enough, bump you up enough in the algorithm.
Yep.
To boost you on whatnot, because it'll be like, because I know there's a section on like, what is it, like what's hot now, or shows that are trending or whatever.
Yes, I was just going to say
up enough to get in that, and then you get more people.
Right, because then you're showcased, which you otherwise wouldn't have been. Yeah. Good point.
And
so it does help, even if you're just in there, just hanging out, not talking, not doing whatever. But if you do tap the screen, like, and we get those hearts, it helps with all that too. It just boosts you up so more people are potentially coming in your room because there's activity going on. It's very important, even though it might seem like it's not. It really is. So, like,
and it doesn't cost anything to tap or click and follow. It really doesn't.
And like, if Mom and Dad are here and they're upstairs helping us watch the kids because Ben has to work, Lola usually has Mom's phone when she's supposed to be modding. But if there's other mods in my room, then Lola's up there tapping the screen with hearts. Dad's very slow at chatting, so he's always tapping the screen for hearts. I know Krista's taps the screen for hearts because I do it in her show too. So I know she's doing it back besides modding. Like,
Is that why
that
she
all
tries to
just
tap the screen
helps.
when we're FaceTiming? Is that why she tries to tap the screen? She's trying
to show you some love.
She could be because she does do it. She only does like one heart at a time.
She's like
But she
Amanda's on. I
figured
need
out how
that.
to do it on mom's phone. So
Yeah. So let's rewind for a minute. I want to ask you a little bit about your
I see the
ability
hearts in the chat.
your ability to be a mom and also be a reseller and the balancing act that there is of the two. Can you talk about that a bit? Because there's a lot of mamas out there that probably would be interested in reselling and making some extra cash on the side to help their families out. Would you mind telling us about your experience with that?
So I kind of took a break from reselling for a while. Like, I would get on eBay like every so often so I didn't lose my account because I opened my own account back in 2011. And if you're not active on there, you lose it. So we lost the original one mom and dad have. They have a new one now. But we weren't active on it because I had my own. They stopped reselling for a while. So I always made sure I was like doing a few things throughout the year so I didn't lose it. But then we moved up here into our house from a 2-bedroom apartment, like after we had Harlow. So that was during COVID, 2020, all that. I had a lot of this inventory, not as much as I have now, but I had a lot of it still. It was just in our garage there. Um, and as COVID continued, I'm like, I got to start like selling more and doing this and making extra money. Like, I was a supervisor at Lowe's at the time and I made decent money, but I'm like, I got to get rid of some of this stuff and just get back into doing this because I love Tupperware. I'd still pick it up. So I was still accumulating. I just wasn't selling as much. So I think around either 2021, I think it was around 2021. I started getting back into the reselling. And it's not like I was doing a whole lot. It just slowly grew into a lot. Um, and then I ended up getting a store on eBay because I average usually, well, right now I only have just shy of 900 listings, but mainly I average like 1,000 to 1,300 items in there. So a store is perfect for me. But my goal was, we knew we eventually wanted a third child because we had 2 boys and I wanted to get Lola at some point.
Come on, let's go, girl.
Ben and I both knew like we wanted Lola because Heath came out Heath and not a Lola. Because I had their names picked out beforehand and I'm like, I'm gonna get Lola someday. It just took a while. But I'm like, when that point comes, we're not going to be able to afford daycare because there's no way. 2 kids is a lot. And we had in-home daycare and it was cheaper. But still adding a third one in, it's like there's no way I'm not going to be able to work full time. So I slowly worked on building up inventory in my store, selling, doing all that. And it wasn't just eBay. I got into Mercari and Poshmark, Bonanza, like slowly into that. I didn't just jump into all of them. I mainly focused on eBay and then started adding those in. And now Etsy's in there too and whatnot, obviously. But I slowly worked them all up. And then slowly kept building my inventory so I have a lot, so my sales were there. That way, when the time came, I would be ready to step down because I could make enough on the side where I wouldn't have to be full time, that I could just be part time. And the goal was just to be more like 28 hours part time because I still needed enough money between Lowe's and reselling to pretty much still bring home my manager income without doing that. But then Whatnot took off in like January of this year. And then it all changed. Like, I'm making, I think it's like 4 times as much as what I made on eBay last year I'm making on Whatnot this year. And I mean, Ryder helps me. Some of that's Ryder's too, because we do our thing together. But still,
Yeah, even
it's
taking that
That's incredible.
out of the equation for a second, the fact that you can make that much doing something that you're passionate about first,
And it
right?
definitely shows through your shows.
And it shows, right? You
Yeah.
could tell.
Mhm.
I think that's why it seems so like maybe natural to you because of the passion that's behind it, perhaps.
Well, and the product knowledge is
Yeah,
ridiculous.
it really is. You could tell that you've been doing it for a long time, even though you're
Yep.
still young. I'll call you a young kid, I guess.
Well, I guess
I'm 35. I'm not that young, but yeah,
You're
I'm
young
young
enough.
for reselling.
I mean, I guess you could say that with anything, right? Like if you like
Yeah,
something,
exactly.
you collect
We've
you
talked
become-
about it a lot
you
this year.
become an expert about it, and
Yeah,
it's just so
for sure.
natural. So for someone who has zero knowledge, other than my mom used to have that, and I remember the Tupperware parties I was
Right,
dragged to as a kid, and the amount of money that people bought, she got free stuff. Like that's my knowledge of Tupperware. Also, the one thing
Mine is that the spaghetti was in it and it was so delicious. That's my memory of Tupperware. I don't know.
The only other memory I have of the Tupperware is, the one that you can put together and it's got like it could be like a displayer and it's usually in that khaki color. My mom used to put nasty ass Easter grass on it with the colored eggs that we did on
Damn,
it.
Mom, rip.
But
Terrible.
that's one of the only Tupperware things I remember. Oh, and then we also the stencils. I've told you so many times.
Yep.
The stencils were my absolute favorite thing to have and play with. And thankfully to Courtney, she has restored that memory for me, except we need to find one more
#rekindled.
and I even have the case and it smells just like I remember. I know it wasn't mine, but it's just like one of those things where like if you know, you know.
That vintage plastic.
Yeah. And it could be anything
Yep.
that you have, but kudos to you and Ryder for having such good product knowledge and representing it well. And, it's really good. Really, really good. So if you guys are looking for Tupperware, if you watch the replay on this, Mamacat Thrifter can hook your ass.
Yeah, get on Whatnot. And if you're not familiar with Whatnot, first of all, you need to check out the bio descriptions in the YouTube channel. You can get $15 off your first purchase. You don't have to do it through our store. Do it through Mamacat Thrifter store. Get yourself a nice piece of Tupperware. Use our code to get on Whatnot. If you're already on Whatnot, you're not tracking Mamacat Thrifter. You want to make sure you do that because what the hell are you doing with your life, honestly?
And she's branched out to plushies, and she has a great sidekick for that. You want to talk about your sidekick?
Hello.
Well, yeah. So, since Whatnot's been so successful, I've been able to cut down to like 1 to 2 short shifts at Lowe's a week. So I'm mainly home with the kids. So they get to see what I'm doing. So when I'm doing like plush and toys, my middle son Harlow, he is 5 and he is obsessed with it. He does plushie shows at school, or at least he did. I'm not sure if he's still into it as much as he was, because he's not into it as much as he used to be with me. But when he was like really in his prime, doing it all involved and excited, he would set up shows like in his room, being down here doing it with me. Like he just loves it. And my oldest son, he is 8 and he gets kind of involved with it, but he can read. So he likes to try to read the chat. So he gets very distracted. They're both autistic. They both have ADHD. So there's challenges there, especially with the time of day that I do it.
He can read how much you're making. Remember that one show?
Mom, you made.
Yeah. Yeah. He will tell you how much we've made. Like he's not shy about it, and he's
like,
just reading whatever. So if somebody types something, he's reading it.
I'm the same way. Transparency. I mean, when it comes to that, I really don't care, but I can get where that's side.
Well, I can attest to Harlow's love of plushies. There's been so many times where I, when he was in his obsession era, I would call and talk to Courtney, and he was like, "Manda, want to look at my plushies? Look at my plushies. We're washing plushies." Like, it's just so sweet to see that you and him could be able to bond.
Yeah. He knows them all
that.
too. He knows who they are.
He knows
what shows they are.
He's very smart, very, very smart. Yeah. And if you've had the privilege of being in one of Courtney's shows, while Harlow's been in there doing plush. You're very lucky because it is very, very sweet to watch, and I appreciate it, especially when he tells Courtney that he's going to do a show for Bob and Amanda. So I'm going to take personal love for that.
I have a sidekick too, and I'm lucky, but you have a really great one in Harlow.
He's so adorable. I absolutely just love the fact that he gets on there with you and he's able to. I mean, I know sometimes it's difficult because of the time frame, but for the most part, I think he does a phenomenal job. And the fact, like I said before, with you, just being able to more understand when I talk to him now, it's just amazing. And I really am glad and hopeful that him doing this with you has been part of that and helpful for that too. So I just think it's amazing in all facets.
I think I think it's helping his speech and stuff. We'll let Courtney talk about that a bit more, but I think so too.
Right.
Yeah, he's made big improvements, and they see it at school too. Like all three of the kids have speech issues. Like Lola is pretty much nonverbal. We're getting her started on stuff now, but Heath has had speech issues. Harlow has, Ryder and I both had it, so it's not surprising. It obviously runs on my side of the family, but he's made huge improvements just with the way he talks, the way he describes things. Like he uses way bigger words too. Like he pays attention, which is great.
That's good, yeah. Well, and he's. I don't know. I don't know if it's the love for plush or just the love of being able to do that with you or whatever it is. It's just pure joyful to watch, and I'm just so happy for that for you that you can have that with him because so often our kids want nothing to do with us. So I just think that's great. I really do.
Well, and I know he still loves his plushies because all the Mario ones are downstairs because him and Lola and Heath have been playing with them because they're obsessed with Mario Kart. But I think right now he's into the inflatables. He seemed to start losing interest when it was time to do Halloween because our inflatables are going up, and now it's the Christmas ones going up, and now he's stuck inside a lot more because we're freezing cold up here. So he's doing Mario Kart more. So they're doing other things. So I think his interest has just gone to something else. But you never know. He might come back and do plushies again because his love for plushies certainly has not changed. I mean, Mom can tell you straight out. Like she was here helping me. Her and Heath, I think, were up in their room, and they had counted over 300 plushies and then stopped counting after that. So
I wonder where he gets that desire to collect things from.
Yeah, I don't know. It's certainly not Ben, I can tell you that.
So is Tupperware your favorite thing to sell, or now that, because I know you've gotten into nostalgia rate trains, which we can talk about that as well. What is your favorite? What brings you the most joy to sell, or is it just all of it?
So I like a lot of it. I do a wide variety. So Tupperware I love. I'm always going to have a love for Tupperware because I was a nerd, and that's okay. 14, 15, whatever, I'm into Tupperware. I don't care what the other teenagers are into. Tupperware is my thing. Ryder is the same way. He collects Tupperware. We both do. We're just nerdy in that way, whatever. Brings us joy, though. I like sewing it on here. It's super fun. But I also like doing the nostalgia shows because, I collect Care Bears and My Little Pony, the vintage ones. I collect Barney, Land Before Time, Rugrats. I like the stuff from my childhood. And I enjoy selling it too. And there's stuff I like it, but I don't collect it. But I love selling it because prices people pay. It's dang, yeah, you can have this. It's awesome to hang on to it for a while and have it yourself and then go on to the next home. But I also I sell a lot of new old stock stuff. And I love that too. If I go to a sale and there's a bunch of vintage sewing kits and stuff, or the canvas and all that kind of stuff, I pick those up, and I love selling that kind of stuff. I think because my grandma always was sewing, and she would sew all the time, so I think it helps with that connection that I had with her.
Mhm.
That I'm fond of that, and I'm like, it sounds good. Like it's like a childhood memory, I guess.
Yeah.
And it's fun to find it. Like I'm like, nobody used this. This is from like the 80s, 70s, whatever. Nobody used it. Like that's just for me. It's amazing to go and find stuff that it was never used. Like how do you just come across this that it's that old and nobody ever used it?
Do you ever find stuff, or do you ever find it hard to let go of stuff, or do you only sell what you have duplicates of, or how do you process through that? Because I know that there's been times where, as you can't see, but you've seen before, there's plenty of plush behind us. Like I also love Land Before Time and Care Bears, and I've got a lot of the vintage stuff on display here in the office. How do you decipher what you're going to sell versus what you're not?
Sometimes it's hard, but then at other time I'm like, I don't need it. Like, what am I gonna do with it? I don't have room. Like, it would be nice if I had more room, but also like the kids are gonna end up wrecking a lot of stuff if I did put it out. So I'm like, am I gonna wait 20 something years and they might all be out of the house? They might not all be like, I mean, who knows if I'm ever gonna have the chance to put it up. So it's like, do I actually need it?
So do you feel like you got your joy from it and now it's time to let it go?
Yeah, like I used to collect Miller High Life stuff because my dad, that's the beer he drank. And like, I think this stuff's cool. I don't like beer. It's the nastiest thing you can drink. Like, no offense to anybody who likes it. And I like High Life, like, it's the champagne of beers. This stuff's cool. I don't drink it, but dad drank it. And I don't know if it was just
That's how I
that
feel about
connection.
Budweiser. That's what my stepdad drank.
Yeah, so like I collect the stuff and I still have some of the stuff and I still am keeping it because it's cool. Like it's cool ass shit. Like
There's a
but
man cave out
I'm
there just starving for that stuff.
well, and I have some of it hanging up in the garage and everything because I used to have it hanging up in our apartments. But then like the kids came along and I'm like, what if this mirror like falls and breaks and somebody gets hurt? Like I'm very paranoid about that kind of stuff. I'm like, I
I
don't
would
want
be
something
too.
like that to happen. So I have stuff hanging out in the garage, but I'm like, I don't need all the glasses and, all that kind of stuff anymore. Like, I used to have it all displayed, but I'm like, yeah, Lola's going to go into the cabinet and she has an arm. She likes to throw stuff. I'm like, she's going to take a glass and chuck it in, and there's going to be glass everywhere. Like, I don't need that. And it just doesn't bring me as much joy anymore. I'd rather just have some of the signs and the mirrors, and that's fine. I'm ready to let it go. And that's like I think I'm to that point with some of the ponies too, because my joy with My Little Ponies is truly the vintage ones. But I do have modern ones too, because I'm like, well, what if my kids one day like are into this? Like I like ponies, but they probably won't be into the vintage. They'll be into the newer. So I picked up the newer too, but now I'm just like, yeah, maybe I can just let these go because it doesn't really bring me joy. And who knows if they're gonna like it? And if they do, are they gonna like these ones that
The
I've
eBay
had for
price
how
will
many
bring you
years, or
joy.
are they gonna like the more recent ones?
Yeah, but that eBay price will bring you joy in your pocketbook.
Well,
Well,
yeah,
and
like
then
right now,
use
you
that money
guys
to
know
what they're
we've
interested
talked
in.
about
Yeah.
it. I've sold 4 ponies this week
Yeah.
that I took out of my tote. They're just small little 3-inch ones. They still had the Target red clearance sticker on them. I paid 88 cents for them back in 2013, and they're selling for $15 a pop. And I've sold 4 this week since I've listed them.
If you have the storage for that kind of thing, and that's a heck of a business model, set it and forget it, put it away every couple of years, drag it out and get it listed. I mean,
And
that's a business
that's what I
model.
do. That
Yeah.
is my retail arbitrage. That's what I do. I literally go to Walmart and Target and I pick up toys. Like I don't know how many totes are over there right now. There's probably
We're gonna
60
find
to
out.
80 totes just of toys.
We're gonna find out.
But
Gonna go live
also
right from the totes. Live from the totes.
right? No, that's going on eBay.
No, I
For
want to
most
see
of it.
stuff before we go live.
I'm
But
just messing around with her.
But it's also like when there's Christmas and when there's birthdays and stuff, I can just come down to the totes and grab stuff, which
Oh,
is
that's awesome.
nice.
Yeah.
But
We
then
used
I
to do
let
that with
stuff
my grandma.
sit. Like
Yeah.
I listed stuff today and I'm like, this stuff has been sitting in here since 2016. I'm listing it. and I've already sold 2 of the things today. With the one was within minutes, the other one was within hours. And I just
love
let it
that for
sit
you.
in my totes, marinate. If the kids aren't into it, then I'm like, okay, I can sell this. And usually by that point, nobody has it. It's not a thing anymore. Like if kids are watching it, they're finding it on Netflix or Disney Plus or whatever streaming site. The parents can't just go to the store and buy this stuff. They have to go
Right.
online.
Right.
And
Because
when
that
there's
stuff is-
not like a
Mhm.
lot of new online and they want to buy new for their kid, like I have it and I can have the price higher. And they're going to buy it because they want it for their kiddo.
Yeah, perfect example. Well, not a perfect example, but last night I was talking to Courtney about, hey, I listed this dinosaur and we've sold it before for 17 and I listed it for 35 and it sold within hours. And
Not
Courtney's
even.
like,
It was like 20
yeah.
minutes.
Courtney's like, what are you talking about? I sent it to her. She's like, oh, that's a Disney Junior show. You probably could have sold it for a little bit more, but 35 is great. And I was like, how do you know this? She's like, how do you not know? And I'm like, because I
She's
swear,
got those young kids, of course.
I think it
Yeah.
might be her generation. I don't know what it is, but I have never seen a
Do your
Disney tag.
research.
Yeah.
That's the moral of the story.
And I'm gonna tell you what, if you need help, Mama Cat is a wealth of knowledge. If it wasn't for her, Gato Cat would have never happened.
Courtney came clutch with that one.
She was like
El Gato.
So for those of you that don't know, quickly, Gato Cat sold on Whatnot on Fiona's Finds for $440 or something like that. And I was talking to Courtney and I was like, it's up to like $100 and something, Courtney. Like, what is going on? She's like, just send me a picture of it. And I had not found it anywhere, nor had Bob. And
sleuthing.
Yeah. And Courtney's like, did you check Terapeak? And I was like, actually, no, we didn't. And she was
tell her
like,
that all the time. She's just like,
yeah. And she said,
no,
this sold for $400 last year on eBay. And I was like, oh, well, maybe this is a good one. And by the time we ran the auction, and then it sold for $440. So I appreciate Courtney because there's been so many times where I'm just like, what is this? She's like, oh, that's so-and-so. And you're asking too little. You need to do this. Or no, that's garbage. That's, whatever. So for those of you that don't know, she has knowledge of things that I don't even think were possible.
Yeah.
Well, people underestimate so much stuff. Like, so I know I was telling you guys before about how I sold a bunch of Ben and Holly stuff. So Ben and Holly's Little Kingdom is like a UK show. And it was around when Heath was little. So like in 2017 it was out. Heath watched it for a bit. Like it was really cool. Like I liked it. It kind of, I think some of the voices might be like the same as Peppa Pig, obviously, since it's like a UK one. But it wasn't a bad show. I'm like, I can tolerate this one because, some of the kids' shows, it's like, oh my God, this is god awful. Turn it off. But that one wasn't bad.
Like Caillou.
I've never watched it.
That's a no thank you.
He's a whiny little bitch.
I think it stands for no thank you. Caillou, no thank you rhymes too.
Yeah,
Sorry.
Ben's told me about it. Ben's had to watch it. Like, no thanks.
Awful.
Hey, if you're a Caillou fan out there, sorry about that.
Sorry.
We don't give a flip.
I don't give a shit.
But yeah, Target got the Ben and Holly toys back in 2017. They were Target exclusives. And then, so the town I'm in, even though we're so close to Minneapolis, which is Target headquarters, we do not have a super Target. We finally, I don't know how long it's been. It's been probably 5-6 years or so, I think. Our Target has like a grocery section, but it's very minimal. Like we have a partial row of frozen. Like I think there's both sides of the row is like fresh refrigerated, and then on the back wall there's like partially refrigerated and then some frozen. So we don't have a big, and I mean then we have the normal aisles, but it's not like a normal Target grocery or anything. So our store is smaller, so our stuff gets flipped out a lot. Like I can go to a super Target in a different town because everybody else pretty much has super Targets except for us, and I'll see stuff there that I'm like, I have that at home because this was clearanced out at ours and it's still full price and on the shelf there because they have room for these toys. So when the seasons change, they can still hold on to that. Ours can't.
Right.
So back then, the Ben and Holly toys went on clearance. And I wait till stuff goes 70% off unless it's something I absolutely think the kids would love and I'm worried about it selling out. I might pay 50% off, but I'm super cheap. I don't want to spend a lot of money. I'm a cheapskate. But I got
I knew there's a
so
reason why I
many-
loved you.
I think the nicer word is frugal.
Yeah.
Call it like it is. Cool.
Yeah, you're cheap ass.
I
We're
could
cheap.
use phrases that my dad uses, but I won't because it could offend people.
Yeah, we won't do that.
I know we don't give a flip, but I'm not gonna do it.
Love you, Dad, but yeah, there's a line.
But yeah, so I got like most of the pieces from that whole entire set. And I'm like, oh, this is going to be great. Like, I'll give him to Heath when he's a little bit older and everything for like his birthday or Christmas. Well, he stopped watching the show, of course. He never got back into it. So then I'm like, oh, Harlow might get into it. Harlow ain't getting into it. And then with Lola, I'm like, I ain't even going to bother. Like, we have so much stuff. You know, she ain't going to get into it because she's going to like whatever her brother's like. So I think it was maybe it was last summer. So I started listing all my pieces. And there's not a whole lot of new stuff out there for it. A lot of it's open. There's not very much. Like I researched today and there's I think only 60 things on eBay altogether for their stuff. Well, all my stuff's new in package and I'm like, all right, this sold for this sold for that, whatever. There's none of this. I'm like, I'm listing it high. So I think for just one single little tiny figure, I was listing for $50. If it was like a 4-pack or 5-pack of the figures, I listed for 100. Like I was listing stuff high. They had a castle. I listed that for 200. And I mean, the most I paid was like $5.99 for this stuff.
Damn, that's
because it was all 70% off. So I got it like dirt cheap, and it all sold for full price. And I mean, it sat there and I let it marinate. And then, I got those prices. It took a while on some of them, but people bought them. I mean, somebody bought a $200 toy castle. Like, they didn't hesitate. They didn't offer anything. I would have taken an offer. They just bought it outright. I go on there today and look at it just so
My
I can
favorite kind of
see.
buyer.
Well, and people, the prices are asking now. I'm like, I got like $100 for this car. You have it new and you're only asking like $20-$30. I'm like, you're missing out. Like, they should be going to Terapeak and checking, and they're not. So I'm like, people pay those higher prices. Like, there's not hardly anything out there, and people just don't look into that. They just see what was on there lately, and that's where people make mistakes. Like, you really have to do your research. Just because somebody has something listed and they sold something for lower, like Amanda, you could have went on there for that gato and you could have listed it for $50 and it would have sold. Well, if you would have went to Terapeak, you would have saw that.
Right.
I don't remember what the last one had sold for that I told you about.
400. It was 400.
Was it 400 on there?
Yeah. So take that eBay. I got 440.
What
yeah,
not?
but you could have went on there, you didn't find it, and you could have been like, oh, here's a similar. I'm going to list it for 50.
Yeah.
And you would have been missing out because people just don't think about doing the research.
Well, and it almost
that's
happened
a good
to me
point.
on Whatnot. It almost happened. We know, if you know that story, that's a few shows back. But, that's another thing too. So I want to ask you, so let's just say you and I both have the same item, right? You list it, we both list it on the same platform. And I list mine $10 higher, okay? And mine sells and yours doesn't. But same condition, like tag, tush tag, all that same. Do you think that there are people out there, because I believe there are, that want to pay more because they think they're buying a better luxury item versus not? Like, what are your thoughts on that?
I think it could be partially that. It could also be that yours is just bumped up in the algorithm for whatever reason. You might just be bumped up higher. And they might not even scroll down and find mine. It could be that because some people they're lazy. They see the first one and they buy it.
Right. Or yours doesn't come up for someone who lives in my region or vice versa, right? Like, I mean,
exactly.
Your solds could be better than mine. Like, you sold more and your reviews are better.
I didn't even think about that.
Like, that's how I think. But, I think differently about that kind of thing.
Or if you've got shitty seller reviews, maybe, but, Sometimes I don't look at that either. I just click, and then afterwards I'm like, oh shit, they have like a 2-point rating as a seller. That was a mistake.
Or it could be shipping time. Like if
Yeah.
I always have 1 day shipping time set on mine. And if somebody sees one that has like a 2 or 3 day shipping time, they might not like that and they might go to the 1 day. I mean, it could be a multitude of factors. It could be shipping price because like if they're in Florida, like your shipping's going to be cheaper to them. I'm halfway across the country. So
we
shipping price can affect it too.
we pass our shipping discount, and this is probably part of the reason why we sell so much.
Yeah.
We pass our shipping discount on to the buyer.
On eBay.
We're not looking to make money off of shipping. That is an option, and don't get me wrong, it's not wrong if you want to do that.
And there have been a
But
few
it ha-
times where we've
Yeah,
shipped, we've
we've made a little.
yeah, where we've
Yeah.
misjudged.
Yeah.
But it's also bitten us in the ass too, because I take
I
all
think
the
it
photos.
equals. I think it
Yeah,
equals
like
out.
this deal. Yeah, because I take all the photos, and we split the flash drive sometimes, and Bob's looking at it, but I took the photo of it. And I remember it's
She touched
heavy.
it, so she
Yeah.
can remember, right?
So yeah, so
Mhm.
there has been times where we've underweighed or overweight, and
I use my experience in knowing the size of the plush and what type it is to try to jog my memory about, okay, this has beans or this doesn't. So I can kind of guess in my head. I'm
Yep.
usually pretty close about it. You do something long enough, you kind of just get a feel for it.
Well, a good example of that is okay.
Yeah.
So Courtney, you know the Hasbro, I think it's Hasbro, the pink braided My Little Pony plush, and it's probably about this big.
It's a beast. It's a softies.
It's a
Hasbro softies.
softies hat, yeah.
Yeah.
So he listed it for £2.
Well, the pictures were deceiving.
And I think he listed it for £2 because you know the ones that we've had before with the saddle, the Cabbage Patch ones.
I thought it was
Yep.
SS.
I think he thought it was like that, which those are heavy beasts. So when I went, we sold it, and so somebody paid £2 worth of shipping. So we did make shipping money back on that.
No,
but,
it was sold on Macari, so
oh,
technically
did it not?
no.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's right. We had to
Sold
sell
on
it.
Macari.
We had to send it UPS. And I was like, why the fuck is this UPS? And I looked at it and it said £2, and I was like, oh my God. Like, and the thing was literally like this big, but
In my defense, if I didn't do that, it would have been bigger.
so I mean there is that too.
So it happens even after all these years of doing this. You still have moments like that where you're like, "Dope." So I'm sure you've had
Yep.
moments like that too.
yeah, and there's a lot of resellers that will refund the shipper. They're the buyer. I'm not one.
Yeah, and see
Those
me,
are good
I do
people.
a variety. I never pass the discount on to the buyer. But I do a variety of other things. So I do just my regular shipping. So they're paying whatever it is, and then I get the discount because it pays for my shipping supplies with all my packing
Yeah.
paper, bubble wrap, that kind of stuff. But then some things like I research everything, and like if I see a lot of people are selling this and they're doing it with free shipping, then I'll just add that into my cost and put it on there with free shipping. Unless it's something like really heavy, but sometimes I'll even do it with heavier because I'm like, okay, if I add this onto it, I know shipping's going to be about this because I've done it for long enough. I kind of know what shipping's going to be depending on the weight.
Now, where you are in Minnesota, like you're kind of like smack kind of in the middle of the country
Mhm.
for the most part. Do you
Yeah,
find
that's
the
very
shipping
helpful.
more? Yeah, it's kind of more reasonable. I think shipping would be for you than us going from Alabama to, let's say, Oregon. Would be a lot for us, but for you, it might be a little bit more cost effective. You figure that into the price, obviously.
Yeah.
Who's the furthest away, and that's how much potential. Do you think about that kind of thing, or am I overthinking it?
Yeah, I think about it because I'm like, okay, if
Mm.
somebody in California or Florida buys it, it's going to be the farthest away from me, which I sell a lot to both, but it's still,
Same.
I kind of figure what it's still going to be, and I'm like, it'll be okay. Because I just kind of know, like, if it's, at the 8 ounce, I know what it's going to be. If it's at the pound, I kind of know what it's going to be. So I'm not really worried about it. There's also some things where I'm like, well, with the shipping right now, I think it's ridiculous on a 4 ounce package that they're charging like $7.20 up to like 8 something or 9 something, depending on how far away you are from the seller. That is ridiculous because when we go and print that label, it's like 4 something, maybe 5 something if they're really far away.
That's why we offer it to our buyer, because we're hoping that, like,
It makes a difference.
we get
Yeah.
sale 1 and 2. the quality speaks for itself. Hopefully, with most purchases for us, that they'll come back because
We're
the shipping is so.
our return buyer percentage on eBay right now is 28%.
Nice.
So that is a test. We don't get a lot of new buyers this year, but we've retained a lot of our older buyers.
And we've had
which is
return
really
buyers on
really
Etsy
nice
too.
So
That's fantastic.
28% is quite a feat. So
Yeah, that's huge. Like I'm
Yeah.
usually in the teens or so, and I always feel just blessed that I'm like barely over 10%. I'm like, oh, thank you. Like you people like me.
Yeah, we
Um,
actually might break top rated or whatever it's called, which we haven't done since the beginning of this thing. We had some logistical issues this last year with Vendu. Once we dumped Vendu and redid our inventory and started using Nifty, our percentages went way down, and we're going to be top rated. And I think we're going to stay there now that we're using a quality product to be able to keep track of all of our stuff. So yeah.
It makes a difference.
It sure does. And doing an inventory, I know it's hard for you because there's so much that you have, but I would assume that things you have listed, you maybe do a check maybe once in a while.
Once in a while, I'll kind of check, like sometimes even before I send the offers, like I'll come down here and I'll be
just
like,
to make sure.
That's in there, right?
Yeah.
Like I try to stay on top of it though, and it helps because I use Flip because I'm cheap. It used to be free, but now I think it's $9 a month.
Okay.
But it delists for you now, which is fantastic. I'm like,
Excellent.
It's about time I don't have to manually delist anymore. And it doesn't have to be open. It's just when you open it again, it'll delist all that stuff. So I try to open it every day. That way it delists everything that's sold wherever.
Are you talking about the browser?
Yeah, she uses Flip because it's a little bit more affordable.
That's okay.
And yeah, as long as you have something that's kind of like guard dog type of thing.
Well, and I know that we push the cross listers, but I really believe this is my true feeling about cross listing. If you are going to be on 3+ platforms, and
you need help.
Let's just say you have 500 items, okay?
Yeah, for sure.
That can be pretty aggressive to have to sit and grueling to sit there and have to cross or list it individually on each platform. So I think if you have 500+ items and you're using 4 or more, even 3 or more listing platforms, you should have a cross lister just to be efficient and intentional with your time. Like, because our time is worth a lot, right? So you took the time to source it, or even if it was a gift, like you're doing all the things, you're photographing it, you're listing it. Like if you can be more efficient and make the same amount of money, why wouldn't you do that?
It's the most valuable asset you have is time.
It looks different for everybody. You don't have to subscribe to what we subscribe to. We use what works for us.
Yeah, use whatever you want. Just use something.
I mean, I can't say enough about Nifty. We've used Vendu. We liked it. Then we didn't like it. Now we use Nifty. There's things about Nifty that we are discovering that we don't like, but right now for us, this is the option that we prefer. So to say that doesn't mean you have to use what we use, but you should definitely make a decision that works best for you. And I really think that your time is worth, and you should definitely utilize that and figure out how to make the most with that.
Once you started cross-listing, Courtney, what kind of impact did you see right away for your business? Did you notice a impact right away, or?
Yeah, there was definitely more sales on the other platforms. Like Mercari and Posh were the ones, I was mainly cross-listing to, because I just got into Etsy this last year. So, and Bonanza just automatically goes over from eBay because it's connected, and then Whatnot, I can't cross-list to Whatnot on there, but that's okay because if I need to bring something over, whatever, I just do it.
I think for you to cross list on Whatnot.
Whatnot.
We did that, and I think for us it was such a disaster because it would sell on Whatnot, and using Vendu to do that, at times it wouldn't take it out.
It was still in beta.
Yeah, we got screwed with eBay a lot of times. So,
I'm sure it's better now.
Right, but I think for you to list on Whatnot, I think you do so well with what you have in your shows that I don't even think it honestly would be worth it for you, because you move and swap your stuff so much and it sells that it would be a waste for you.
That kind of opens up my next question, really. The inventory for Whatnot. A lot of folks say you need a tremendous amount of inventory to be successful on Whatnot. You've been very successful How do you? We're not going to go into sourcing where you source and all that other stuff because there are things that are just not, you know, public knowledge and don't need to be. But I just want to talk about like, would you agree that you need a tremendous amount of inventory to be successful and whatnot?
It's very helpful, honestly. I think that's why I am so successful in doing different categories on there. Because like seriously, Ryder and I, there's thousands of pieces of Tupperware. I mean, if you could see me right now, there's literally 600 something items just sitting out on, what do we have? One, two, three, four, five, six tables in Ben's workbench back there. We have 600 something items out here. Um, I have totes full, nothing compared to what Ryder has. Ryder has most of mom and dad's basement, a good chunk of it full. But I could go over to my lid container and it's a 50-gallon tote that's full just of lids, and that's not all the lids. I guarantee you there's probably 500 to 1,000 lids just in that tote.
Holy cow!
I mean, when I say we have
Yes.
thousands of pieces, it's not necessarily complete pieces, but not everybody is looking for complete pieces too. We have people come in and they're like, "Oh, hey, my lid broke. Do you have this lid?" Yeah, we sure do. Here you go. Or they'll be like, my measuring cup, this size, this color, got destroyed. Do you have it? Yup, we sure do. Here you go. So it doesn't even have to be like complete pieces either. People are looking for parts. And like things like that are very helpful to have. I mean, I know a lot of people are like, "Oh, I don't want that. That's just a part." Well, people do need that too. But it's like my Christmas ornaments too, and my precious moments and all this different stuff. I have so much of it. It's very helpful because I can do a show and people are like, "Oh, do you have this?" Huh, I might. I have 5 totes of Christmas ornaments here. Or I have 400 precious moments. I may have that one.
Yeah.
I think when people see how much you have, and if you preload like I do, I mean, I know on the precious moments and the ornaments, I don't preload, but I can show them on the tables or in my totes. Hey, I have all of this. Like people know you have it and you're not just saying that you have it.
Mhm.
And it really helps because I feel like they come back because they're like, "Oh, she actually does have all this."
Yeah, seeing is definitely believing. And
That's why we do field trips during our shows. They're like, "Do you have this plush?" We're like, "Yes." Can I see it?
Yep.
Well, maybe not right now, but at some point you will see it and whatnot.
well,
That's the same for us. We do field trips. Like my legs hurt when I'm standing up there. Like I have my good Skechers on, like they are nice thick soles, memory foam, all this. But my knees get sore standing there for so
It's a long
long. So
time to be
Ryder will
standing.
do a field trip so I can go to the bathroom and sit down in the chair while he's finishing. Like
Yeah.
it's
you're
a
pulling
lot.
4+ hour shows. I mean, that's not unheard of, but it's still a lot to do, especially when you are a full-time mom and wife and occasionally grace lows with your presence. So, I mean, I can only imagine how tiresome that can be.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And I will,
it's nice when I do the other shows and I can sit.
yeah,
Like when I was
yeah.
doing the ornaments and all that and the precious moments. Even when I do plush in nostalgia, I'm usually sitting. I mean, I have to get up to grab stuff, but I'm like, this is fantastic.
Yeah, what a difference, right? And the great thing about that too is like you doing in half hours, like doing this, that's a breeze for you because that's nothing. Even an hour for you is probably like, ooh, it's over already. Thank God. Like that was
Mhm.
nothing.
So I have a question that doesn't really have to do with reselling. If Tupperware, the actual company, reached out to you and said, "We want you to be a spokeswoman for us on whatnot,"
What's your answer?
What's your answer? Yes or no?
Oh my God, Ryder and I would jump on it because he always says, he's like,
Mhm.
Tupperware contacted me to be the spokesperson for him or whatever. He always goes on about that. Like
Yeah.
we would jump on that opportunity in a heartbeat.
Would you wear your Commonwealth picker apron?
I wear that every show, of course.
I know.
I would.
Yeah, I have that matching apron for Ryder, but he's never on the camera. So the one I got him is just sealed. I have a different one too. I just don't wear it because I like that one that Kevin signed.
Yeah,
But
she has
Ryder
really cool
Ryder
hubs.
has I think it's a zip up like long sleeve too. That's Tupperware. I'm pretty sure it's a woman's, but he's worn it before.
Heck yeah.
So, I already know the answer to this, but for those that are watching or listening at some point, do you believe in preloading? Yes or no? And is it a
Yes.
benefit to you? Yeah.
For the most part, like it's tough because, like I said, so for me, I ended up with a lot of inventory because I went to a garage sale when I was still pregnant with Lola, and this lady had so much stuff. Like
Is this the
they
hoarder
have a
house?
huge garage, they have an attached garage, like they have a big barn shop thing. He's a mechanic, so he has all like the hoist and all this stuff back there. They have a lot of space. And she was doing a garage sale, and I bought a ton. And then I told mom and dad and Ryder about it because they had like car manuals, so I figured that would be something dad and Ryder would like because they're into that. They came up like, and then we started talking to her because that was like my second or third trip over there, and told her, you know, what I do and all of this. And we ended up creating a friendship, all that. Like, it's been fantastic. We text from time to time. She might have some more stuff for me every once in a while, just checking to see how I'm doing, how she's doing, whatever. But I got a lot of stuff from her because her sister-in-law passed away. She was a hoarder, a clean hoarder. Like, she would buy stuff and take it home and wrap it in bubble wrap it in a plastic bag, wrap it in a second plastic bag, and put it in a box or a tote. And she offered for me to go down there and see it because they were bringing home like 20-foot trailers, but I'm like, I can't with the kids. Like, I can't make it work. But she's like, oh, no problem. But she's like, it's literally floor to ceiling, like the whole entire room just full like that. So I got a lot of stuff from her that way because she knew what kind of stuff I like to sell. And because she made connections with a bunch of people, and she's like, oh, I'm calling Courtney for this because I know she likes that. And I'm calling so and so for that because I know Courtney's not into that, but they like selling that. So that's how I ended up with like so many of the ornaments because this lady, she was a Hallmark keepsake member. So she had thousands of ornaments and precious moments. I ended up getting 400 something of them because she collected those. And the calico kittens I did for my first show, those were also from her. And she has the cherished teddies. Like, she just had these huge collections, and like a bunch of the vintage toys that I sell on the nostalgia show, it came from her too because she had a son that was born in the either 70s or 80s. I think it was early 80s he was born. So they had a ton of that. But for me, trying to preload that, it's impossible. I don't have time to sit here and preload 400 something precious moments.
Right.
Would they probably sell better? Probably, because I'd probably get pre-bids on them. But who has the time for that? And
Or the
like the
patience.
thousands of
Yeah.
ornaments, I can't.
I'm not a preloader. Everybody knows that. If you've been into Rocket City reseller, you guys know I keep you in suspense always. You never know what's going to come out of my mouth or what's going to be said or what's going to be shown or what price is going to be ran at. Whereas Amanda is a preloader.
Well, I think
and there's a stark difference.
Well, I think I do that because a lot of the time, more so now, I'm doing the show by myself. So to have the picture of the item in the sold screen when you go to do your shipping for me is such a benefit because it's a time saver. And I can't tell you how many times we would do a show on Rocket City and we didn't label stuff. We didn't put people's names on it because we relied on the video receipts. I can't tell you how many shows we had to sit.
We stopped doing that a long time ago.
Hours. Because the video receipts weren't matching up, and I was like, "Oh my god!" Like
I would just lock in. I would put the headset on, just watch the video, and I would just like Figure it out.
And here we're so proud of ourselves because we did $150. Well, guess what? After 10 hours of work, this is bullshit.
Yeah, you made maybe 10 cents an hour. That's how it is in the beginning. You learn, you know.
So
Yep.
I think for me now, and I didn't like rate trains. I've always been on,
I'm still not a fan. I'm not convinced.
but I love being on Disney for Gulf Coast and the plush one I can get on there or themed rate trains. And now Ashley She Shed 244 has permanently enlisted me as her sidekick, which is great. It's opening up new followers for me, potential buyers. It's putting me in different categories that I didn't necessarily think that I liked or could sell things in. So for that aspect, it's good because the only thing I do not preload anymore, and I run generic, is my Little People single starts, which thanks to Courtney, again, here we go. She's the, trendsetter for quite a many things. I number with
Queen
the
of
stickers.
Tupperware and whatnot.
Yeah.
That should say the title of this podcast.
So now that I list them 1 through 200 or whatever, now I can just sell it and put the sticker on it and know that this person bought 1, 50, 30, and 6. And now I go find those numbers on the item and I just, go ahead and do it, ship it. So for me, for that, and the other thing is doorables. Now everybody sells their things differently, but I have a system for that. So I don't stress about that. But
I think if it wasn't my 9 to 5 getting in the way, I'd probably preload more. But not having that 9 to 5 and then having to do whatnot after is a little bit consuming.
The other thing too that I really have a hard time with, and I don't know how you feel about this, but you have rate trains, right? And if your rate train is a one and done kind of rate train, like you're not doing it again, or it's not going to be a monthly thing, you've spent all this time, whether you sourced it prior or had it, whatever, that's irrelevant, right? But you're photographing it to list it, right? And it doesn't sell. And you have like an hour show and you did all this work and you're just like, I could have just listed it online at this point. So sometimes there are times where I feel like that's a loss leader for me. Like that's frustrating. But I know that if I keep trying, it'll sell. But that's really annoying to me.
I think, folks like Courtney and She Shed 244 and a few others that do the preloading and can have the grit to grind through it, you can do well on whatnot, but you got to make sure that it's not going to be successful right out there.
They both sell shit out there, buy it now all the time.
That's what I'm saying. Is the consistency helps with that.
Yeah, I'm not afraid to say it. Like, what the fuck?
Continually show up. You show up at the certain days. You show up at certain times. Whatever that looks like, you're a part of this rate train for every time it comes out. Plush and toy rate train, whatever it is. I think that helps with that. Whereas me, I come on once a week. I am a hot mess express. It is absolute liquidation. It's crazy. It's whatever it is. I'm a reseller. That's my thing. That's not necessarily anybody else's thing. And both can work, I think, which is why we're successful, I think, too. So, but there's different ways of doing this. I guess.
And see, with the numbering, I have to give credit to my mod Lauren, because
shout out Lauren.
It was so funny. Like, she doesn't sell on the app or anything, but she mods for a bunch of people, and she is a great mod. She found me, I think, either in January or February of last year. She came in and found me for my Tupperware and became my mod because she was just awesome. But she would put in the chat, she'd be like, shout out your number request, and everybody's just like, what the hell are you talking about? And then she finally went in there and she's like, you don't have stuff numbered? And I'm like, no, like, look at how much stuff I have. So then when I was like doing really big shows and we were selling a ton, I was down on numbers loaded in the shop, and I'm like, you know what? Screw it. I'm just going to go in and I'm going to number. And now every week I have a notebook and I go through there and write down what numbers I need to add in for the stuff I'm listing into the show. And it makes a huge difference. Because when people come in, then when my mom, like when Krista or you or Lauren, if Chloe's in there, if my mom's in there, whoever is in there modding for me, they can be like, hey, request on this number. And it's easier for Ryder too, because Ryder doesn't always know the spelling of all this stuff. And even mom sometimes struggles. Because, like, if you do our cheese smart, you think you're putting in cheese, Well, it ain't spelt cheese. It's CHEESMART. You don't have an E in there. So the spelling on some of the products can really throw you off when you're trying to look them up. So if somebody tells us a number, it's way faster for them to find it on the computer because they're running the stuff off the computer for me.
Well,
So
and that's
it
Great
makes a
idea, Lauren.
difference.
Wherever you may be, if you're watching or listening.
it sure does make a difference. And so I got a bunch of shit from everybody for gatekeeping, but when we did the
We're gonna get to questions in just a second.
yeah,
The Once Upon a Plush.
yeah, I had picked your brain that morning, and I'm like, I sure have enough time. I know I can do it. And the reason why I did it was because when we did the first show, Bob helped me put them in order to run them. But I still had to like find it, right? Because when you run Whatnot, it drops you down, right? Or
You do better Whatnot.
This happens to me so much too. Like, you guys know, if I text you, my texts sometimes need to be encrypted because they make no sense, right?
You need a little codex, a little wheel.
But because my brain is going a mile a minute. But if I'm running the show by myself and I'm running it from the phone, right? And I'm typing in, like, let's just say it's Rudolph, R-U-D. Okay, I put in R-U-D, I hit enter because my Rudolphs populate. It changes R-U-D to something else completely different. And then I have to go and hit back. And I'm like, this is ridiculous. So I really think that the numbering system works because you just put in. And the other thing too is Bob did help me with that show as well. And I wrote them in marker on a label, and
She made them big for me. I can't really see that well.
So they stood out. So for a half-hour show,
man, we were just rolling through it.
It was a time. It was good for time. It was good for efficiency, and it was good all around because it just made it a lot easier.
So we're gonna get to questions right now because we're getting near that time of the show where we ask questions.
She might have more to say.
I know we have a lot to say, but I want to make sure people get their questions in Courtney as well because that's important.
For if you have any
viewerships. So I wanted to just say that Tennessee Treasures had a question. She loves preloading. For any future shows, she could just clone it, which is great. But she finds it overwhelming to keep track of. Your thoughts on keeping track of your preloaded shows?
I think she said of though, not thought.
I think it's though.
No, not necessarily. It's not that overwhelming, I guess, because like I said, it is easy to go over and just move them to the next show. I like that. And for me, like I said, I have a notebook, so I'm writing it down. Like before I start loading in again for that show, because I might have sold 200 something items on Thursday's Tupperware show. I'm gonna go through and I'm gonna write all those numbers down so I know when I'm loading again. So, and that's because I number.
So you just reinsert the number then?
Oh, I see what you're saying. You load a new product, you use the number that already sold.
Yeah, so like I have a notebook, so like it'll have like, say for example, I think when I was listening today, there was like 4 and 28, 67, whatever sold. So then I put that in front, so that way I know it's in there too.
You get all
but even preloading for the next show too, it's not bad because I just copy everything over and then I just add in the new stuff, even if I'm not doing numbers. Like it's so simple for me. I'm just like, this is a breeze. It's nice because most of it's already in there. I'm just moving it over. I wish there was a one click where I could just like all this boom over, but that's not the case.
Yeah,
I could manually go in, and I wish like if the payment didn't go through, that it didn't go into inactive because then I manually have to change that, and it's very annoying.
Yeah, and you don't know that it didn't sell until you go to do your
especially if chat is rolling and you're vibing and you don't notice right away.
And your mods are modding.
And your mods are modding and miss it. Listen, we're all human.
Well, and it doesn't. Once you sell something else, the payment failure goes away, so then you don't know.
Yeah, you're just kind of cruising along.
Yeah, and they changed it when they did the update. It's not as big as it used to be, so I don't even notice it if people's payments go through or don't. I don't care if your payment goes through or not. Like, great if you fix it by the end of the show. If not, it's fine. It'll go on the next show, and more than likely, it's going to get bid up the next time it sells because that's what tends to happen. But even if it doesn't, oh well.
Get them next time. If it's sold once, it'll sell twice. I'm never worried
about it. I never tell people like, "Hey, fix your payment," unless it's one of my regulars, and then I might message them, or I might have one of my mods message them and just be like, "Hey."
That's the thing about
Just-
reselling. Like something sold once. That's how we got it right to begin with, because we thrifted it or found it or bought it. It will
Mhm.
sell twice, likely, and it'll probably sell a third time.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, I find it hard to when some people say, like when they're sourcing, and let's just say, Kohl's Care sells really well for us. We do really well with Kohl's Cares. Whether we lot them
Same.
up, like we just sold Kohl's Care bundles sitting here on Etsy for $64.99, 4-piece set. So I'm saying this because whether we sell one Rudolph or two Rudolph,
for 20.
we're still gonna pick it up because
Mm.
there's so many times where we sell something, it's gonna sell again. Or there's been times where we've had moms reach out about loveys, and there's certain ones that we will pick up duplicates of because we've sold it so many times, and we know that is like what you guys call bread and butter. Like we know we're gonna sell it.
Yeah.
So when people say,
same.
"Oh, I don't pick it up because I already have it," what are you gonna do when you sell it? Because somebody bought
Yeah.
it, someone else is gonna buy it. I mean, I know that.
You start to see trends too, even if
Well-
you're not a data analyst
Well,
like
and
me.
if you don't have this, if you don't have the
Mhm.
storage for it, I totally understand
Yeah.
it. But that's why when you have experience and you sell things,
Yeah.
you're able to be more intentional with what you pick up.
Mhm.
So, what are your thoughts on that? Like, would you? I mean, I know that you buy one, you buy a ton. So, but don't you think that that's smart?
I think it's the smart way to go, unless it's something that
Like QT
I
toes,
bet,
stop picking
like-
them up.
Minnie and Mickey,
Stop picking them up.
burn them. Let's
There's
get a barrel in the backyard.
there's certain things where I'm like, this took 1,000 days to sell. I ain't picking up another one.
Yeah.
Like,
Right.
I'm just not. But other things, I'm like, oh, that sold. It took a year to sell, but it's still sold. Like, in it, especially if it's sold for decent money, I'm like, okay, like I don't mind. But like the Paw Patrol plush that I told you about, like, I took everything they had. Some of those I had like 8 of them. They're all the
Well-
same, and you
Hey,
know
listen,
what?
Sweetie's
I sold
hot.
them all.
Sweetie's hot for some reason. We keep on getting like accosted with our bundles that we have that Sweetie's a part of. Hey, I just
Mhm.
want Sweetie. Well, that's why she's in the
Are
bundle.
you talking about LPS?
No, just Sweetie for like
No,
Paw
Sweetie
Patrol.
from Paw Patrol.
Oh.
See, I was telling Amanda, it's the cat
Hashtag
pack.
Sweetie.
This goes to show you, I don't
The
know what
cat
he's talking
pack,
about.
the plush,
Oh yeah.
especially if you find the white one or the purple one, Rory and Shade, they are good ones.
Well, I think for you, the retail arbitrage that you've done in the past, I think what really might
Product
help
knowledge.
with you as
Yeah.
well is product knowledge, but too the exclusivity part that you have, the Target exclusive. Because I
Mhm.
think when you have those words on your product, it's a fear of missing out and not having it. So I think that it drives people to be like, oh, it's exclusive. I want to be a part of that club.
Well, it's a limited edition
Right.
type of
Well,
approach.
yeah, you know, there's
Right.
not
Yeah.
as much out there,
Right.
and
Yeah.
and that's why I like to sit on that stuff too. Like, I'll look it up and I'm gonna be like, huh, I can sell that for what it's going for in the store, and I got 70% off. Or I can let it sit, let a bunch of these people sell through, and then when people are looking for it down the road, huh, you're
So
gonna be able to ask more. Like that Paw Patrol that I was telling you about that I listed last night. I listed it for $75. We'll see what it sells for. But one just sold for 75, so I'm hopeful I'll take
It
an
was
offer.
probably ours. I'm just kidding.
do you
It's a
run
car. It's not
promotions on-
yours, and it's new in package.
Do you,
Yeah, I know, I was
do you
just
run
kidding.
promotions on eBay? Do you or no?
I used to, but I haven't like in probably a year or so. I
It's
never
good.
promote my listings. I do like promotion like on like a coupon sale, but I do not promote any listings. I never have. I never will. I'm not giving more money to eBay. If it's gonna sell, it'll sell.
Okay, so this is completely random, and I send messages all the time of what we request that we get on eBay. So I'm just gonna.
There's some wild ones, yo.
So I
could
just
write a
got,
book.
I literally in real time just got a message on eBay. I'm gonna share it with you. Okay, it's an IKEA kitty with an IKEA mouse. So I thought, oh, this would be cute, cat and mouse, right? I thought it'd be a cute bundle to have.
Mhm.
Hi. Is there any way that you'd be able to sell me just the mouse toy? It's my cat's absolute favorite, and she lost it a couple years ago. Thank you.
That's gonna be out now.
Well, it was just like me this week with the bear. I lost the mama bear. Would you separate the cub from the mama bear
Yeah.
plush? And I'm like, I can't. It's literally sewn together. I'm not gonna
Really?
cut it apart.
Yes, Krista, it's IKEA. Yes. Yep.
I feel like saying yes, I'll do it, but it won't help the price any. That's the evil in me, and I'm trying not to be like that.
Well, because it goes back to the time.
The time you
that
said, yeah, her
took
time is valuable.
to source it, to photograph it, to list it, to whatever, all the things, right? And it's just frustrating. And you know,
because there would be no interest if it was by itself,
right? And that's like Muffin. Was it Muffin? Who was it from? Who's the one from Bluey? That's really popular?
It's Muffin.
Okay, so in the beginning,
she's a brat, by the way.
When we first started sourcing, and we sourced Bluey, and I was like, "Ooh, we find Muffin." We put it in there. We knew damn well that Bluey and Bingo was not going to sell without Muffin and the other. There's another one too. I don't remember what it looks like.
Probably.
Yeah. And they're like, "Can you just sell me this?" Bitch, no, because I know you're only wanting it because that one is in there.
Hashtag bitch,
no.
no.
Chloe's in here. Hey.
Chloe, I totally messed up your name earlier. I'm so sorry.
But she did shout you out, so.
Thanks for all the tips and tricks, Chloe.
Thanks for looking at that one.
Yeah, we appreciate you so much, man. You don't even know it.
So
and sorry you can't see me. We're in the middle of a blizzard, and Amanda and Bob are in the middle of a tornado warning. So
so we can see only ourselves, but we can hear each other great. So it's gonna make for great content. We're just gonna go with it.
Yeah.
And there's another bundle that we have too. We have an LPS plush bundle that has, what is it?
It's a chinchilla.
And they
it's kind of rare, I guess.
Ask just for that one, and they're like, "How much just for that?" Bob always says it's going to be the same price because we have to take it down and relist it just for you to buy that one.
Yeah.
Which
it's
stupid.
A lot of work. I don't think some people understand. Like, I feel like it's that way with the retail arbitrage because, like, when I said I was going out and buying the Zuzu pet stuff back in 2009 when it was just crazy. Yeah, I was picking it up for like $4 or $5 for one piece and selling it for like $20-$25. But I'm like, okay. So these are super hard to find. You might not live by a Walmart that's carrying that because I think they were at Walmart. I don't even know if they were at Target. They might have been. But I'm like, if you don't have the store nearby, like,
how bad do you want it?
Well, and exactly. And I'm like, okay, so
you don't mean to be icky, but yeah.
your kid wants this, and even if you do have those stores, it's a top toy. There's probably hundreds of kids in your town that want that toy. There is going to be hundreds of parents searching for that toy. Good luck finding it. Yeah. I went out, I bought it, I sourced it. I went home, I took pictures, I made a listing. I'm going to have to take it to the post office to ship for you. Like, yeah, you're paying more, but I'm kind of like your personal shopper.
Right.
It's kind of like when you do online grocery ordering.
Yeah.
It's
personal
the same
shopper.
thing.
I love
the
that.
Prices are higher because you can go, like, I will go into Aldi because I was going to do it one time and I'm like, that's not the price that I normally pay for that because I pay close attention to prices so I know what store is cheaper. And I'm like, did they raise the prices? Like, this is higher too. And then I went into the store and I'm looking as I'm like trying to do an online order at the prices on the shelf. And I'm like, it's higher if you online order. And I'm like, it's
because
the
you're
same
paying
thing
for
because they
convenience.
are personal shopping.
Yeah.
And that is essentially what we are doing.
Mm-hmm. Well, because it's convenient, right?
We are
taking the work
out of it for people.
Yes.
What would you say for the people that are saying you're a scalper?
Or it's a reseller's fault.
Or you're ruining things for everybody because you're a reseller.
I am ruining nothing. I literally went from being a full-time supervisor down to like 1 to 2 days a week so I can be home for my kids. Like, this is what pays the bill. It's a job. You can do it too. Like, I have this luxury of being able to be home with the kids more. Like, I mean, if they had a big deal with it, they can go out and buy it. They have the same access to the store as I do. Like,
well, and
you know what?
We feel the same way, by the way. I'm just curious that because there's going to be those people that come in the comments. Oh, you're just a terrible person.
I think places like Gradewill have ruined it for us because they have taken the good out of it and they've made it retail prices, which completely knocks us out. But now you're also knocking out the parent that can't afford it or the person that's looking for a deal.
Yep.
So you just bit what is it? You bite what is
Bite
it?
the hand that feeds you.
Yeah, or
Yep.
Or is
something
it-
about your nose. Yeah,
Yeah,
that thing.
nose off the spate, their
Yeah,
face,
yeah,
sixpence
that.
none the richer.
Yeah.
Well, and I know you guys don't source the same as we do up here, but I mean, obviously, this time of year, if we're gonna source, it has to be thrift stores because I
It's a
mean,
frozen
when
wonderland.
I came down here with the wind, it felt like -13. We ain't having garage sales. We're having a blizzard right now. So we only get so many months out of the year where we get to have garage sales, but we source a lot from garage sales. And a lot of that stuff is going to go into the trash. So we're saving stuff from going into the landfill. So
Well,
when people say that, it's just like, okay, we're saving it. We're
Well, they think that there's
repurposing it, giving it a new home, giving it a new life. Like, you should be happy about that we're not destroying the planet.
well, and think about it this way: if you really want to be like that, people have been reselling since yard sales and garage sales existed because
yeah.
people are selling off
Mhm.
what they don't want, and someone else is finding value in it. It's no different because let me tell you, I bought this, I'm using it, I don't want it, now I'm going to sell it again. Maybe I'll make
Yeah.
money, maybe I won't, because it
Yeah,
depends on how
you
much I
just-
bought it for. No
You'd
different.
rather sell it even if it's just cheap than throw it in the trash. Because
Yeah.
even if you get $1 back for it, hey, I might have spent $20 on this, but even if I can get $1 or $2 back for it rather than throwing it in the trash.
You gave it
Somebody
a
else
Yeah.
you gave it a
opposite.
second life, right?
Yeah.
Or a third life, or a fourth life.
Yeah,
Sure.
exactly. And I
Yeah.
think that is great. And some stuff is really well loved, but it's fine. Some of my stuff on display is very well loved, but I still enjoy it. And I can pass it on to the next person and they'll get joy out of it too, because just the fact that some of this stuff still exists is crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So people
and we
have to
still-
look at it that way too.
Right. We still find when we find terry cloth plush, I internally freak out. I get so excited. Like it's
Mhm.
beyond more excitement than a jelly cat because terry
Well, it's more
cloth,
rare, so
it's just it holds its value. Like we sold a terry cloth little boy plush by Eden for $103 on Etsy, and I got it at the bins.
Yeah, so you paid
and
like nothing for that.
Yeah, because it weighs almost nothing. So I may have paid 50 cents for it. And I'm not saying that to brag. I'm just saying these are things that still exist out there that people have had that want for their grandkids or
how many of those babies are in
whatever.
the trash that you'll never see again?
Yeah.
Yep.
Right. Someone out there that had that wants it again. Where are they going to go? eBay, probably. Right. So, providing a service, in my opinion, feel how you want about it. The prices we're living a free market. The prices are going to be what they're going to be. People are going to
choose
pay.
to buy it or not.
Yeah,
Yep.
people are going to pay what they're going to pay, regardless of what we feel. So if we comp something that comps high, just like your house, you don't have to buy the house that you bought. You picked a neighborhood. There are similar people that thought there was value in
And there's
that.
benefits to that.
It's the same thing, right?
Yeah.
So there's benefits
Mhm.
to that. So it's the same. And yeah, I guess that's all I have to say about that subject. But I just wanted to get your opinion on that because it is a sensitive subject for a lot of people. They still think that Goodwill is a not a corporation, that it's helping, and it does help with jobs apparently, according to their mission
They do
statement.
have programs. I mean, I know the CEO makes way too much, but there's
Oh, yeah.
also other thrift stores and they, give a lot to the community. I know ours in town do. We have really one thrift store and it's one that Ryder volunteers at. The other one is Community Pathways and they deal with clothing, and then food, and they do have a little thrift store too, I think, for helping just money wise with all this stuff. But everything there pretty much goes to people who need it. And I know the thrift store Ryder volunteers at, they're doing, there was just an article on it. I didn't read it, but they're doing some kind of um electrical kind of program assistance. I'm not sure what it exactly is, but they're giving out assistance on things. And if you are through Community Pathways, if you get the food and the clothes and get the help from them, they give you half off at the other thrift store. All you have to do is
Hey.
provide your number and they give you half off. So they do actually do a lot for the community, even if people feel like Greedwill doesn't.
Right.
They do have programs, but there's also other thrift stores out there that do a lot. So you
Well,
can't just judge it based on one.
You can't discount them because they're not all the same. And that Greenville likes to say, "Oh, donate to our working program."
Yeah,
you treat your employees like shit.
Yeah.
And that's just not speculation. We've heard it right from the source.
We have seen it.
We make a lot of connections with the employees.
And we're nobody. Like, what do they have to benefit from telling us that, it's shitty pay or whatever the case may be? And I'm not just, whatever it is.
Come at me in the comments, Goodwill. I'd love to have a conversation.
Yeah. and that's the other thing too, is like some of these business models, you get this shit for free. Why would you care if you made a nickel or $100? I just think that
if I owned a thrift store, I would try to get I would try to get some money for it, but I wouldn't go too deep into someone's pocket because of the reasons we already stated. I would try to keep as much moving through as I could, just to kind of give that a new life.
And for them, it ends up at the bins, and a lot of times it ends up getting broke between the store and the bins. What's the point?
How many times have you gone to the bins, right? And the tag from the Goodwill is still on it, and it's a plush, right? And it's not even like a brand name, $5. What the fuck? $5 for this?
It's like a dog toy quality.
And because it never made its way off the shelf, and it, like I know $5 is like stupid, but you look at some of these things and you're like, really? Like, what are you thinking? We have a local honey hole that sometimes is not nice with us. But we do find really good plush there, which we probably should go there this weekend before we leave. But anyways, when you drive around where you can donate, there's like a fucking mountain. Like you could never climb it of clothes.
I'm a big guy and it's like 3 bobs.
It is huge. Okay. Like huge. Like you would love to slid off this mountain. Okay. And they limit you to like 10 pieces of clothing when you shop. Why?
It's like a forest of trees that lost their leaves.
Yeah. See, that's insane.
Would you do that? Because for me, working in retail for 17 plus years, you need to keep the shit constantly moving. Now with a thrift store, you're always going to get inventory because people are going to donate, right? Target, you're always going to be ordering stuff. The new stuff is coming in. How can you work with that? How can you be and not feel suffocated? Like everything that you make is going right back into your church and community. What are you doing?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, keep it moving.
That's insane to me because I just know how much you go through on clothes in a season. I worked at Herberger's, which a lot of people don't know Herberger's. We had like 7 sister stores, or there's 7 of us total, but we were like Midwest and up through the East Coast, like Bergner's, Boston store, Herberger's, Yonkers, there, Carson Perry Scott. There was several of us, but we did have jewelry and shoes and home and all that, accessories, whatever, makeup, but it was a lot of clothes because you had men's, women's, kids, intimates, all this stuff, and just the amount of clothes that went through our store, and that would change every single season. You get how many thousands and thousands and thousands of pieces through that store every season. There's probably millions of pieces going through that store a year. And how much of that stuff like is ending up in the landfill because of places like that limit it. Like that's insane. I've watched documentaries on that too, where it's just landfill. It's just full of clothes. Well, because the trend is just in, out, in, out, in, out.
But and to piggyback off of that, you have 2 buyers, right? You have the clothes buyer that wants to dress like they used to, or never stop dressing that way, right? So they're constantly looking for that, right? And then you have the other person that looks at trends in the past and wants to bring it back. So either way, it's needed and wanted. So I don't know.
I don't get the fascination with that. I get that there's brand specific, and that's another animal altogether. If you're like, I'm an Izod person, I wear a lot of Izod. It just fits because I'm a big guy again.
Yep.
But I think that there are opportunities for thrift stores to be more successful, and I would love to have someone on the podcast from that, model, just to kind of talk to them and try to get their like frame of reference or thought process regarding it, because we see all this at the Goodwill bins. If you're not watching the YouTube videos, Rocket City Reseller, we source at the bins, and those videos, you just see the excess. They're just rolling it out right into the dumpster.
And we don't have very good product knowledge, so I'm assuming that we're also passing by shit that we didn't even think.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely.
yeah, clothing. I mean, unless it's like a vintage kids piece or like I recognize it as being vintage, I have no idea. But I don't care for the clothing at all. It is not my cup of tea. I've sold it. I have stuff listed. I have stuff to list, but it is not.
Yeah, that's
It's
just
not
not
for
my
me.
wheelhouse I want to be a part of either. But for those that do that, I think it's wonderful that you
It can be lucrative. If you
can
know
make
your
a lot of
product and your
money.
styling, if you're a stylist or you have that passion, it's like anything, whatever you feed is going to be successful. We've talked about it many times on the podcast. So it doesn't matter what you sell. You can sell nickels on here or coins or whatever, or you can sell plush. It doesn't matter as long as you're passionate.
Is there anything else you want to talk about, Courtney, that we haven't brought up? Or do you?
We haven't talked about the rewards program. I kind of wanted to talk
Okay.
about that.
I actually wanted to ask you about that because I love when you say your little, every time you say your little spiel, which again, Courtney is really great about that. I'll let her talk about that. I always say it with you when you say it because I think it's great.
Yep, when I'm like, congrats on unlocking bronze, make sure to tap that crown up there for your coupons.
I think it's great because you're rewarding and you're also, appreciating that the viewership and the purchases in your show.
I don't think we gave that a long enough try,
No, I
personally.
don't think so either.
We were part of the first season. So.
You tried it the first season.
Yeah.
And then you guys kind of gave up on it. I tweak it. Well, I haven't tweaked it. I don't think last season or this season. Maybe I tweaked it last season and I kept it this season. But I have tweaked it a few times. Where
Let's
I
talk
just
about what
it
it is for those that may not
those that
know,
don't know,
or
what
that might
is
be
it?
listening. What is it
So
first?
Whatnot has a rewards program and the seller sets it up. So you have bronze, silver, silver,
Platinum, gold,
gold. No,
diamond.
I think it's gold, platinum, and
bronze,
diamond.
silver, gold, platinum, diamond.
Yeah.
I shine bright like a diamond. I don't need the.
And you set up the rewards. So, and you can change the names of it. You can change what the reward program's called. So, like, I could change bronze instead of it being called bronze. I could change it to whatever name I want. I know, like, some will put whatever crew on there. Like, it's something that goes with their theme.
Star Wars, I think, or something like that.
Yeah, so people, you can change it if you want. I just keep it on the normal so it's less confusing for people. But then once you hit every tier, you get coupons. So for like me, the first coupon you get for bronze, you either purchase like 5 items, spend I think like $25 or watch 3 of my shows and you unlock that one. And then I have a percentage off and $1 off coupon for each level you hit. You don't have to do that. I didn't do that at first, but I've changed it over time as I've gotten bigger on the app to give them 2 coupons for every level. But then as I go up to the next level, I will up it by like 5% on the percentage coupon and by $1 on the dollar off coupon. But I also am changing because after the first level, you don't get it by just watching shows. It has to be you're spending this much and also buying this many items. You have to do both to get that coupon unlocked. So as it goes up, you have to spend more money and buy one more item. So I bump it by one more item, $5 more each level. But then your coupons are an extra 5% off and an extra $1 off as you get higher.
So in one of your shows, what is the highest someone has started out prior bronze? How high have they gone? Do you know?
I've had people go from nothing, first time buyer, to diamond in shows. I have that happen frequently. Yeah. Which they have to spend a lot of money with me to get that. I think they have to spend like $300 or $400 to get to that level in a show.
That's insane.
That is.
And it happens frequently.
Good for you.
Yeah.
But when you get to diamond, so I've hit diamond in Chloe's show before because Chloe also has it. And when that next season starts,
That's Carolina.
I automatically start at gold. So I don't have to unlock bronze again. I don't have to unlock silver again. I'm already starting at gold, and I have all those coupons to use as soon as the season starts. So that is the benefit of getting up to diamond, because you don't have to work as hard to get back up there for the next season.
Oh, it's kind of like Chick-fil-A. I know that sounds silly, but like Chick-fil-A,
I love it.
Chick-fil-A,
I'm in.
Chick-fil-A is like 45 minutes away. So
Chick-fil-A does that. Like if you you could be, I think it's silver, red. Red is the highest level you could be, but if you're so far into one of it, you don't have to work as hard to get to the next tier. So
gotcha.
Sorry. And I
Yeah.
do like Chick-fil-A.
So I mean,
delicious.
it's a really good rewards program, and you can save a lot of money. And like I said, it's nice that you control. So some people are so unrealistic though.
Yeah.
You like unlock bronze, and they're like, you get $5 off your next $25 purchase or more. Yeah, okay, because I'm gonna spend $25 on
Right.
something with you. Probably not, because most everything they're running is like $3-5. How am I gonna spend that much if they have
Right.
something good and it's priced up there? But I'm like, you don't even have anything in your shop that high. How am I supposed to use this?
Well, if it gets bit up in Harry Tornado, you'll do it. But I mean, that's
Yeah,
not
I mean,
ideal for
that
Hey,
that's
listen.
not a lot. Like,
Right.
Josh and Haley worked really hard for where they are. I'm
Right.
not mad.
I'm not
Sell
shaming.
yourself. Sell yourself, Josh. We love you, buddy.
My point is, unless you're in a show like that, the odds of that happening is very
Oh yeah.
slim. Is
yeah,
my
and
point.
it's and it's fine if people have that stuff priced that high,
Right.
but people will do it and they don't have their stuff priced high, and I'm like, you can't even take that coupon and use it for anything because you
Right.
never price anything that high.
Where's the incentive? Like that, and when you do stuff like that, you're actually hurting yourself because you're setting unachievable goals.
Yeah, exactly.
You know.
I feel like I'm at my 9 to 5 all of a sudden. Unachievable goals.
But no, like though, I think the incentive program works if you utilize it correctly. But for those of us, like Bob doesn't go on a lot. Like he goes on once a week, right? Like right now it's busy at work and he can't. But for you go on, you sell Tupperware once a week, sometimes twice a week, depending on what you have going on. You have a clientele, your customers know, they're working towards, because they're going to continue to come back because they want those pieces. They want to see what you're bringing back, because when you run out of stuff or when someone asks for something, hey, I don't have it tonight, but we'll make sure we bring it back for this show. So they're coming back. So the incentive for them to get to the next coupon lock for you is there.
Yeah, and I pulled up my analytics from last season compared to last season was season 5 compared to season 4. And pretty much all my numbers are up. Like my amount of viewers was down, but I had 684 buyers in my rewards program. And I mean, not to brag or anything.
Hell yeah, blow your horn.
It was $28,711.55 in sales, and that was up by over $5,000.
Hell yeah.
That's awesome.
So I
it
mean,
can work. It can work. You're proof.
It does pay off. Like we saw a big increase.
Mm-hmm.
I think because, and this is like anything, right? When you are saving money, you're spending more money because you're like.
Well, that's why we do affordable shipping.
That's why the free shipping too. Like there are some sellers that just can't get behind it, and that's fine. Because if you don't do that, your people know that when you're going to run something and you're going to weigh it and you're going to ship it at that price, that's what you're paying. That person knows that that's what you're doing. But when you're in a show and they don't have reduced shipping, now it's more thought provoking as to what they're going to swipe for. Right. Because like with Ruth Ann, she's like, hey, buy 2 things, you're at it. Because I intentionally weigh it higher so that you will be.
I want you to buy more from me. I'll take care of the rest.
Right. Yep. But some people want every single penny, and that's okay too if that's your business model. But I do think
when you're first starting out, it's tough to release your fist.
It really is, because you want to hold on to every single Who remembers when you got your first sale and you were so excited and you couldn't believe it, and you're like, oh my God, because that's everybody's dream, right? You want to watch somebody do something, you want to mimic it, and you want to be just as successful, right? And then it finally happens, and you're like, this is great. So the potential is there, but you also want to keep it close because you don't want to give it all away either.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So
For those listening, I just raised my hand. I remember my first sale. Courtney, do you remember your first sale?
No.
No, and that's okay because it's
her
been
dad
a
does.
yeah. Her dad does though.
Well, no, that was Tupperware. Like
Oh.
the first sale would have been something Beanie Baby wise, but I can't
If we could
remember
only get that
21
Beanie
years ago,
Baby.
you guys.
Okay, so another question. Do you like when you list online, do you list in lots, bundles, or do you list single items?
I mainly list single items. There's very few things that I do bundles on, just because I know I could probably move it faster with doing a bundle, but I don't care. I'll sit on it because
You want
literally
quality
it's
versus
sitting in
over
my
quantity.
basement or wherever in the house anyways.
You're playing the long game.
Yeah.
Yep.
There's nothing wrong with
Well,
that.
and there's
I'm fine with
financial
it.
reward in doing that.
Yeah, I think I'm okay with the long game too. A lot of times, and you have to be when you sell plush.
Obviously,
Anyways,
we have
but-
300 plus totes of plush, so obviously we're not in
yeah,
it.
plush
for-
is not the fastest moving guy in the world.
But it can be
So-
very
No.
profitable. It can
It
be.
can be huge.
Yes.
Can be.
You just have to know what you're doing.
We're learning a lot from relationships like the one we just made with you and others, and we can't say enough about how much we appreciate everybody along the way and how grateful we are. Having a humble heart helps along
And
the way
in
too.
turn, we're hoping that we're able to educate people and save you costly lessons that we have made mistakes with. Like one of the things we've talked about for next year, like we're gonna liquidate Build-A-Bear. So if you like Build-A-Bears, come to our show. They're gonna be like $3 and $4. They're out of here, just because they're taking up room in our whatnot room. We thought we were gonna do well with them, and we're not. But it's hard not to pick them up because some
Yeah.
of them are just so great. But so
come by and get a great deal on a great toy.
yeah.
Is the message.
But-
Courtney, there's more that you want to say, or where can people find you?
I do have more to talk about because I
Okay.
forgot a few things.
Yeah, go ahead.
I'm
Just looking
fine.
at my
Yeah, for sure.
notes.
Yeah, go
I didn't tell you guys about it when we were first starting out too, which I don't know if you would have liked, Amanda, but pretty much everything was auctions too. Like buy it now, how we just list it and forget it. That was not a thing back then. Like buy it now was there, but really nobody used it. You did auctions and you had the option of 3-day or 7-day. So pretty much every day or every item was a 7-day auction because we wanted it on there for the longest period of time. I
Get as
think you
much as
could
you
have
can.
gone longer, but it would have cost. So there was costs on doing that as well. But it was
Well,
auctions.
so-
Buy it now is, I believe, cost extra if you wanted to do it. Buy it now is back then. Like auctions were just everything. So when we got back into reselling, it was a huge change for us because you don't see people really doing auctions anymore. It's not what it used to be.
Yeah, I think the auctions that I'm familiar with on eBay is like, with me being a little people reseller, I guess I can call myself that, right? I see lots and I see those in auctions a lot, like a big, huge bundle. So, I've lucked out a few times with those, but I could see the appeal. But I could also see now when you do that, you can create your own starting bid for that, correct?
Yeah. So back then, and I don't know if it's the same now. I haven't done an auction since like 2022 because I had all those VHS that I was doing on auction, the ones that went for over $100. But like back then, doing an auction cost, setting a reserve price cost. I think it was if you did over a certain amount, it would have cost you more. Doing more than like the 7 days would have cost you more. Like so there were fees on it, so you had to be very precise on it. And mom said she can't remember what it was, but back then she would have to do stuff like every day on the different listings. She said she couldn't remember what she had to do, but she was constantly having to do things on there. And the questions we would get was insane. Like, you think how we get questions now is bad? There were so many questions then. Like, she would sit at the computer and have to answer tons and tons of questions every single day.
Well, it was something new for people, so they wanted to make because they couldn't tangibly see it. So I guess with that would definitely happen for sure.
And people, a lot of times, you might get um, a bid right away, but a lot of times they waited till the last hour or down to the last minute, seconds. So you're
Yep.
constantly having to watch it
Yep.
and see. I mean, you don't have to, but just for your own sake, like you're watching to see. But then if it doesn't sell, then you're paying another fee to put it on auction again, and it was just way different. Like we really have to be grateful for how much it's changed,
Yeah.
because with what we had to deal with back then, it was really horrible.
Thank God for
And
evolution, right?
well, yeah, and Dad talked about it. He's like, I remember the one time we ended up with 100 items in the store, or well, it wasn't a store because we didn't have a store back then. Like most people didn't have stores either. You just had you're selling, like you weren't an actual storefront. That was very rare to see. But 100 items took us a whole weekend to list.
Wow.
Because of how slow it was with the dial up, with the camera loading,
Mm.
everything.
The
Like it
process
was
was unforgiving.
very, very time consuming. Feedback was different too, because your star would change to different colors or different things, different amounts of stars. And you used to be able to leave negative feedback for the buyers,
Ooh.
which was huge. I don't know when they changed that, but we used to be able to leave negative feedback, which I don't know if people know that if they haven't been in the game that long, but that was really nice when we were able to. We could leave them negative, neutral, or positive feedback.
As a buyer to your as a seller to your buyer.
The seller could to the buyer. So if
Ooh.
you had somebody who wasn't paying, just screwing you over, doing whatever, you could leave them negative feedback. Whereas now we have to leave them positive feedback no matter what. If we're going to leave them feedback, you didn't have to do that.
Yeah, now their asses get shamed on Facebook and the eBay reseller groups.
Oh, and every item we had to do too back then was from scratch. Like there was no sell similar. You
Oh
couldn't go to
wow.
somebody else's listing or even your own. Like you had to go in and select everything from the box. Like you were filling in everything from scratch, every single listing. That's why part of why it was so time consuming. Like it's a huge change, and I don't think many people think about it and are like super grateful about it, because
Yeah.
it was also, you had a huge desk area too. You couldn't just like move around. Like I have my laptop at the bar and I can just take it wherever, like down here when I'm working.
Right.
You had a desk with your actual computer desktop. You had your printer. You had everything there. It
Courtney
wasn't
was saying
movable.
when they first started out, they used to allow sellers to rate their buyers and give them negative feedback if they were like screwing you out of payments or whatever. Whereas now we can't do that, and that's when I told her that's what Facebook groups are for, to shame sellers or buyers when they don't.
Right. Yeah. That makes sense.
It was just nice because you could actually get buyers kicked off because they'd get enough negative feedbacks and they'd be kicked off. I don't know why they stopped allowing that, because it was nice. You would know, like, hey, this buyer is probably going to do something shady because look at all their negative feedback.
Right. Well, they still do that too. I feel like with when they send you offers and then they don't pay, which is super frustrating for me. I think if someone makes you an offer and you accept it, I think payment should come automatic.
I
Because it's
had
kind of
one
like,
this week. I just had to relist it like yesterday or the day before.
well, because one, they do that if they have it for sale and they want theirs to sell before yours. I highly believe that. It's the other thing with Whatnot. You can't accidentally bid on something for a show that's like 2 weeks in advance and then your payment fails, or I accidentally did that. Bullshit. You went there, you intended to do it, you made the choice, you pre-bid on it, and now you're having buyer's remorse. How is that our fault? Why do we have to, take that on?
So,
That's not fair.
yep. So with that, we're starting to not do that anymore, unless it's one of our regulars and they made a mistake or they decide, oh hey, I didn't see you had that. Like I want that instead. Then I'll accept their cancel request. But if it's somebody new and they're saying that, and especially when they pre-bid, because I check on pre-bids multiple times a day. I know when
Mm.
people have pre-bid, I can see when they pre-bid. I'm like, nope, I'm not doing this anymore. And if they send a cancel request and you deny it, they cannot leave you feedback on whatnot. So you are safe
Oh,
from getting that feedback. They can't leave it for you
when did that
because
happen?
that's been how it is. Like if you deny that cancellation request, they can't leave a feedback on it,
Good to know.
which is nice. And I mean, we used to be really nice and we used to accept all the cancel requests, but now I'm just like, no, I'm not doing it anymore.
Yeah, I think if it's a thoughtful bid, I don't believe that either. And the
No,
other thing too is we are not Walmart, we are not Target, we are not the big box. So if you make a purchase and then have buyer's remorse,
Bid responsibly.
yeah, like that
Yep.
hurts us more than it does like the bigger people because we're not able to bring in the volume like that. So
Now, if
well, right.
someone cancels on eBay before it ships, I'll go ahead and honor it because it's just going to be a problem.
yeah.
That's the only
Yeah.
platform that I don't kind of push back on.
And the other thing too with
Yeah.
Bob, he finds if people ask a lot of questions about a plush, like
Or anything that you're
He-
selling. If they're asking a million
he's
questions,
like, maybe this isn't for you because obviously you have a lot of doubt, and we
Yeah.
don't want to be a part of
they're
that.
going to be an instant return.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's going to be a problem. You just get to know who those buyers are just
Yep.
based on what they ask. And
Do yourself a
Yeah.
favor and just block them and keep it moving. Quite honestly.
yep, it's not worth a lot of people's times because
No.
they are going to be a problem
and I'm glad you said that.
90% of the time.
And it's always on it's always on the lower dollar shit too.
Yeah,
I don't know
Yeah.
what your experience is, but
the
it's always like
$9.99 items in your
Yeah.
eBay store.
like it's
Yep.
on a $20 item. We're like, really? It's not worth it. It's really
Yeah.
not because after everything is said and done and the back and forth, you made $5. Was it really worth it? No.
I'd
Oh,
rather
I know.
not
I
take
had
the
that
return.
happen with a Tupperware shapeable ball one time. It literally went to a town that's like maybe an hour drive away from me, and they ended up returning it. And I'm like, you literally paid like $12 for this, and you're really gonna return this? Like, oh,
Yeah, there's a lot of that out there in the reselling world. Unfortunately, it's a good and the bad. I think there's probably, I know that there's a lot less, bad folks than there are good. There's more good about reselling than there is bad. The freedom that you're getting as a mom and a wife, and just for yourself in general, is worth its weight in gold, in my opinion.
And kicking ass doing it.
Kicking ass doing it, yeah, for sure. What's
Yeah.
next for 2026 for you? Just curious.
Well, if everything
start
works
selling
out, I won't be at Lowe's a whole lot longer.
Okay.
Hopefully, I can just be here. Lola is going to be starting with having in-home visits to help, so hopefully she won't be nonverbal anymore. So we'll have that to do every week, and then just with the boys with running with school too, it gets busy. I mean, they're not in any activities or anything, but Harlow's in preschool, Heath is at the elementary school. It's just a lot. And like I said, they're all autistic. They all have their needs. It's a lot to deal with. So it's nice just being here. So that's going to be the plan. So I should be doing more whatnot shows. I'm going to try really hard to focus more on the platforms this year. I really wasn't expecting whatnot to take off like it did last year. Like, Mom and Ryder started helping me like in the fall last year, because when I started, I only did shows like once every 2 weeks. I did like 2 shows a month. And I did start with the Calico Kittens. I did a holiday show, and then I started doing my Tupperware because that's what I like. I started getting people buying it, and then it just slowly started growing. Well, then I was doing it out of the garage, and it got too cold. It was getting up to Christmas time. I'm like, I'm taking all of December off, part of January off, so I can figure something out down here in the basement. And they helped with that. We came back in January. Our first show was a disaster. I think we made like $30-40. Like, it was not good. I don't know if it's just because we were away for so long, which could have been it, or it
Yeah.
was just slow.
No time away goes unpunished.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But then the next show, we started taking off, and it was like, I think the best show that we had so far. I think that's when Lauren came in to our lives, which was really nice because she is our friend. She's our mod. Like, we built a relationship with her too, which is awesome to have that. So I think that's when she found us and we met her and all that. And from there, it just took off. It just kept getting bigger and bigger, and all summer it got bigger. So I'm hoping this year, just with me expanding more into other shows, it's gonna be even bigger. That's the hope. Help
Well, yeah.
pay for me to be home.
Yeah, for sure. You always have a platform, no matter where we are, for whatever that looks like going forward, to speak your truth, to promote yourself, your sites, your new adventures, what's next, etc. So just know that.
I'm excited for June's adventure.
Let's talk about June.
That's gonna be a good time.
Let's talk about June. Yeah, everybody's curious. What's
going on
happening?
in June, Courtney?
What's happening in the summer of 26? The hottest summer of 26.
I'm gonna play Mario Kart with Harlow.
Amanda will probably see me getting excited. So I was gonna say it earlier, and then we started talking, and I forgot. So when you find like something good, so you will see how giddy I get. So you should have seen me the time I found a free jelly cat. Like, because I always check the free boxes.
I heard
around
about
here.
it. You called me
can
and
get
told me
good
about
stuff.
it. Yeah.
But I found a jelly cat in the free box, and the way I just get giddy and like practically like prance to my car to get it in there quick.
Do you
Like,
scream out
I'm
in joy?
fast
Like,
walking. I'm like turning red. I'm just like, oh my God, get out of here before they catch me. Even though it's in the free box.
it's amazing.
Or even if it's a good deal at a sale, I'm just like, oh my God, is this price for real? And I just go to check out, and they're like telling me the total, and I hand them the money, and I just start like walking faster. I'm like, get to that car quick.
Before they find out.
Got him again. Yeah, got him again.
Yeah,
That's
like
funny.
my heart starts racing. Like, I just get so excited because I'm like, oh my God, I found that. Oh my God, it's this cheap. Like, oh, this is money.
Yeah, one of the benefits.
It's super exciting. So Amanda, you're gonna get to see that when you come up here and visit.
So for those of you that don't know, I'm going to Minnesota in June. It's happening.
She already sounds like she's from there. She might as well just visit.
I'm going to
I've always said that ever since we got married.
First on the agenda is I need to play Mario Kart with Harlow because he says it every time I talk to her. And second, I'm gonna dig my way through her totes. I cannot wait to see the untapped potential.
We visited
the Mamacat Thrifter.
We visit a lot of people.
Garage, whatever.
That's what I love about this reselling thing is that we've had a lot of success and we're able to kind of travel a bit. We've visited quite a few people, met a lot of great people along the way, and this is just another feather in the cap.
Courtney can see that, so.
To be able to do that and meet with you. So it's going to be awesome. You never know. I might be there. You never know.
I'm about an hour, a little over an hour from actual Minneapolis. So I'm on the south side.
Really?
So we're right on 35. So we just jump up on 35 and we start getting into like Lakeville and Burnsville. So Minneapolis is a little ways in, and there's a lot of times traffic just because it is the cities. So it takes a little bit longer to get to actual Minneapolis. But we're not far. There's a lot of sourcing up there. There's a lot of marketplace stuff, but it is a drive for me, so I usually don't go up there too often. You also have to be careful when you go up to the cities. Like, there are some streets that have great thrift stores, but it's not worth the risk because there's a good chance you might be shot, even though they have a lot of great stuff up there.
That's how I felt in St. Louis.
Yeah, I don't know if Lake Street's in Minneapolis or not, but they have a really nice thrift store on right off there, but there's a lot of shootings there, so it's go at your own risk, I guess, in some of the parts of the cities, because there's some stuff that goes down. I mean, it's a given. I think the whole country knows about chaos that happens up there.
Well, I'm excited for June because, as I've told you, we do have yard sales and garage sales around here, but it's just not to the magnitude that I don't know if they just don't. We have gone to one community yard sale, and that was the time when Bob came and the owner of the yard sale, whatever, came out, and we got a whole entire car full of squishmallows for $20. So I'm like, how much did you spend? I only gave you $20. So, and that's also when we found the loving family stuff. But we don't have the luxury to have those kind of yard sales here. So I'm really interested to see and experience your love of yard sales in that way. I did it with Ryan and Christine. I think we didn't do yard sales. We did the bins, but we just don't have the luxury of finding stuff that we're looking for here. And that's why I've always said I love the bins, because it's kind of like the lottery, right? You go, I don't like betting on something that I'm not going to get. I rather the sure thing. I don't find it fun in that way to go to a yard sale and try to find stuff, whereas others do, and that's great. I like the bins because I know at least I'm going to find something. The drive wasn't not worth it, if that makes sense.
And see, for me, I've only been to the St. Paul bins once, and it's mainly clothes. It wasn't a whole lot of other merchandise at all.
Right.
And it wasn't worth it for me. There's so many other thrift stores up there to check out. I haven't been to the Chaska one. I know I've heard good things about it, but I don't know how much of it would be stuff that I'm into. I mean, I like a wide variety, but it doesn't mean that it's going to be stuff that I actually like. Whereas for us, we have citywide garage sales, and we have several towns that do spring and fall citywides, which is great. And then for me, my town has an actual garage sale site. So people post on there, we post on there because we do our garage sale every year. So you check that every week, and when it's really popping up here, there's times we've had like 70 something sales in town, but it's not often we get that many. Normally though, when it's the good time of the year, it's normal to have 30 to 40 sales every week.
That's crazy. And you said you start on Wednesdays, right?
A lot of our sales start on Wednesdays or Thursdays. A lot of times, if they do start earlier, it's like starting at like 3-4 o'clock on that first day, which we do it sometimes too. It just depends on the year, time of year, how we're doing it. Mom's schedule, my schedule, dad's schedule, Ben's schedule, all that plays a factor in it. But you can do those ones at night, and a lot of times you can do like 3 to 7, 4 to 7. That's typical up here. Wow. And you can get those extra sales and catch the people getting off of work. And for us, we have several factories in town. So you can also catch those people getting done with the factories too, and give them a chance to come. But then, like, you have Wednesday night, you got all day Thursday, you got Friday, and then you do a part day on Saturday. Like, it's just giving you more sales.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, and a lot of people do it, and it's great. A lot of stuff you find in boxes for free. I mean, you know, I found Little People, vintage Smurfs, whatever. I found them in the free box up here. Like, people are very nice in Minnesota. So you do get good
what do you
deals.
expect from Minnesota? Everybody's nice
Isn't
there.
Bobby's World's from Minnesota.
So Courtney,
yeah.
we're gonna wrap this up, but before we do, I want to give you my my most grateful thank you that I can. I want to wish you and your family a very Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. We'll be talking more because we talk every day, just about.
You do?
Well, I try to squeeze in a word or two, but sometimes it's hard. You know, this one, she likes to talk.
Yeah.
But before we
I know.
get out of here, I want to just say a few things about We Don't Give a Flip podcast, if you don't mind, Courtney. It's gonna
Yeah,
take a
go ahead,
minute.
take it.
Yeah, so We Don't Give a Flip podcast started off with Sean and Mel, the West Virginia Panhandle Pickers, reaching out to Ryan and Christine at Gulf Coast Pickers and myself, Rocket City Reseller, and Fiona's Finds, to start a podcast about reselling, flipping, humor, all the things to try to keep things light and moving and get that information out to the people. Unfortunately, the podcast will be ending. This will be the last podcast that we're going to have, not just for 2025, but the last podcast for
We Don't Give a Flip.
We Don't Give a Flip. So I want to just really quickly just tell everybody that was a part of this that we appreciate everybody. Competing efforts is basically the narrative of why we're all still friends. We all still love each other.
There's nothing going on. It's just
this is hard. Ryan, myself, and Sean all work 9 to 5s.
Yeah.
So it's just, what do you do with the time competing efforts? So reselling is all encompassing, and it can get really hectic, especially this time of year.
So we appreciate the opportunity. We appreciate the people that we've met. Krista, thank you for modding, coming in every Thursday. But you will not miss us.
You will not.
Because
next year, y'all, is going to be Rocket City Reseller Presents Launchpad. Okay, so there's going to be another podcast on the Rocket City Reseller channel. So feel free to come over there
and
hang out. We have some co-hosts. Fiona's Finds is going to come on and co-host
every once in a while.
But
who are your cohorts?
My cohorts in question are Tennessee Treasures. Ellie is going to be a part of it. Also, She Shed 244. Ashley, you know her from Whatnot. She's the raid train queen of Whatnot. So we have a lot of information that's going to be coming out next year. It's going to be about entrepreneurship and growing your business and all the things that come with that.
And I think it's great that we've had this opportunity to
I've learned quite a bit doing this podcast. For those that don't know, I do all the technical stuff for the podcast. Sean and did all the scheduling and all the other stuff. We appreciate him. Ryan and Christine with the wealth of information and knowledge. Previous experience with podcasting and all the reselling years of experience and everything they did social media wise. And if you're not following these folks, man, you need to follow them on YouTube. There's so much information out there. So make sure that you're following Gulf Coast Pickers, Ryan and Christine. Make sure you're following West Virginia Panhandle Picker. On all the socials and all the Instagrams and all the other stuff.
And everything is still perfectly fine.
Yeah.
Like, I can't say that enough because I know that there's going to be, but really, it's really okay.
Yeah.
It really is okay. We will still be in their shows. It is going to change for Bob with Ray Trains next year because he's taking on something else. And also his job may look different. So he doesn't want to commit to Ray Train. So just because he's not on Gulf Coast Ray Train, no bad blood. It's that
career, man. That 9 to 5. Y'all buy more stuff so I can become a full-time reseller.
It just may not pan out. And so, just be mindful of that. There's no bad blood. It's all good.
Yeah, it's all good. So, Courtney, thank you for giving me the time to do that, and just thank everybody that was a part of We Don't Give a Flip. Most of all, I want to thank Courtney, Mamacat Thrifter, for coming on here and being not just our I would say cherry on top of the sundae, our caboose, whatever you want to frame it, because there's a lot of good information that was talked about in this podcast, and this will serve as a repository for those that are looking in the past and looking at reselling and how to get that leveled up. And I'm glad that we were able to end with such a stellar queen of the Tupperware world.
Yeah, and we'll probably have you on Launchpad too, just because of your Whatnot knowledge. And
yeah, it's going to be a lot focused on live reselling. Not totally, because again, it's about entrepreneurship, growing business, taking it from a hobby to a full-time art. Because there's a lot of folks that are on here. She Shed 244, Tennessee Treasures. They all are full-time resellers. Amanda, Fiona's Fine. They all do this full-time, and they're very good at it. So it's going to be a wealth of information.
And for y'all, Whatnot may be your full-time, but it's not mine. So I have a different perspective of platform full-time reselling and what that looks like for me.
Exactly.
So
a lot of stuff up and coming for 2026. We're super excited to not only grow our business, but yours as well. And we want to thank everybody again for being a part of We Don't Give a Flip
Mhm.
podcast. We're
And-
reselling Met Humor, and the flips, they're going to keep on going.
And
They're
Merry
never going to stop.
Christmas and Happy New Year. And we will see you in 2026.
Merry Christmas, y'all. the official sign of We Don't Give a Flip. We love y'all. Thank you again, Courtney.
You
Yep.
can stay on.
Stay on, Courtney. I got a couple more questions on the back end.
All right, sounds good.